So I was sitting on my like magic beanbag in my room and I realized that I have a shit ton of content on my YouTube channel. So I decided I'm about to live stream all that shit for you. So listen, this is like a series of videos that I did about marriage. So y'all know what I've been thinking about marriage for the past 5 or 6 years. Now forgive me if some of this shit sounds a little sus. But these are my true thoughts. So anyway, enjoy the live stream of archives. Make sure you put your thoughts inside of the comment section. Do not hesitate. Probably going to end up responding to the comments or at least the live chat. Some of the stuff recorded in this live stream was recorded in like 2017. Few this year, but it was like years ago. So forgive me if I sound a little. I think I've been making some great points when I started talking about marriage. I mean, you know, I'm a life coach. I've been a dating coach for a very long time. And I be trying to be real with people, like, about what I really be thinking. Anyway, just let me know what you think inside of the comment section, okay? Come to the live chat. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know every time I decide to do a live stream, okay? Hey ladies, pick up your ears, listen quietly, put a sock in it. 10 rules to dating a married guy. Rules to dating a married man, ladies. Your price is way too high, you need to cut it. Your price is way too high, you need to cut it. Here you go. Number 1, you are not his wife. Yeah, that's the number 1 rule. I'm gonna need for you to remember that throughout all of the rules, okay? This rule goes with all the other rules. This is not a rule by itself. Rule number 1 goes along with rules 2 through 10. Shit, it might be your blessing in disguise. It is not your responsibility to do anything for him that his wife would do. And that includes understanding and patience. This leads me to go into rule number 2. Shit needs to be on your terms and your terms only. Hell, I mean, you've already decided to be a side chick, but at least you're not being coerced into doing something that you don't want to do, which usually happens to a lot of single, in a relationship, and married women. Beware for karma and the taste of your own medicine. It's anyone's call. Number 3, don't you worry about what he thinks of you. This shit is against the clock. He's cheating on his wife. He can't judge you. You're like, I don't want him to think such and such. Really? Number 4, do not wait on him. He is not leaving his wife. Ever. Ever. Y'all all in the same boat. Okay, yeah, you may have heard one of your friends say she dated a married man and them two ended up together happily ever after, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatevs. She was the exception to the rule. 9 times out of 10, that will not happen for you. Number 5, don't forget that he is a liar. Yeah, he'll tell you anything. Think about it. He's lying to his wife. His wife. So what makes you any more special of a person for him to decide to not lie to you? Do you know how many situations he has to manipulate in order to be with you? Yeah, keep that in mind. So you know what comes with manipulation? Lying. Number 6, there is no happy ending. There is no happy ending. Do not let romantic comedies fool you, boo-boo. That shit does not happen in real life. I just said he's not leaving his wife, so even if he does decide to leave his wife, he's probably not going to leave his wife for someone like you. Not to say that you are any less of a woman in my eyes. I mean, you know, who am I to judge anybody? I got my own things going on. In the heat of the moment, you never know. 9 times out of 10, he'll leave when he's ready to leave, and it will have nothing to do with you. And once that divorce has gone through his entire soul, the last thing he'll want to do is be in a relationship with another woman. This is not going to turn out well. I promise. Number 7, get as much as you can out of the situation before it's dissolved. I mean, hell, y'all having fun, right? So state your requirements. What is it that you want? It's a temporary situation, so what do you want out of that situation? That shit gon' end in a New York minute. Be clear. Keep body and soul together. Number 8, don't try to solve his marital issues. No bending over backwards for this man. What are you doing? A lot of married men will tell you, hey, my wife doesn't do X, Y, and Z for me. She doesn't blah, blah, blah for me. Such and such and such is happening. And they're consistently complaining. But have you noticed they have yet to leave those women? Don't do it, girl. So the last thing you want to be is the woman that gives them advice on how to deal with their marriage. Don't do it, girl. Number 9, break a leg. You two are there for a good time, so the second it starts getting stressful, I'm gonna need for you to run for the border. Come hell or high water, because it's not supposed to be stressful like a marriage would or a relationship would. So if arguments start happening or you're no longer getting what you want out of the situation, I'm gonna need for you to exit stage left. And Deuces and Elvis has left the building. And boy, bye. To the left, everything you own in the box to the left. Middle fingers up, hold them hands high. Put it in his face, tell him boy, bye. Boy, bye. Boy, bye. Then again, you should have never told him hello. And number 10, the most important. Wait a minute, didn't I say number 1 was most important? Well, anyways, scrap that. Number 10, the most important. Know when to keep it moving. I ain't going back no more. 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 I fucking hate that song. But Chris Brown gets it. Deuces. If you would like to not be hurt, your best bet is to not deal with a married man at all. But there are a lot of women out there who are at different stages in their life. A house divided against itself cannot stand. So make sure y'all end this together and at least have some kind of friendship and respect for each other. Make sure you know the ropes. Don't let the cat out the bag. For me, I don't do marriage commitment. I'm like the 0 attachment. I come with a clause. I come with a disclaimer. If you expecting a white picket fence, marriage, kids, and all that stuff, do not look in my direction, because it ain't even happening. But there are so many people out there that are looking for that. And if you're looking for that, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get that from a married man, because he already created that lifestyle with a woman already. And it will not happen for you. And no matter how much he sells you that dream, don't fall for it, girl, okay? Women who date married men are always considered to have low self-esteem, but you know what? I don't even think that that's even the case. I just believe that some women will take what they can get. And they also don't want a lot of complication. And married men don't want that either. So sometimes it's just a good fit. However, it's never a good fit for the husband and wife involved, because they have to continue to lie. If you are a side chick and you know your place and this is what you want for your life, more power to you, sweetheart. But if you don't know your position and you think you out here and you about to steal somebody's husband, shit, you might. Shit, it's 2016, you never know. But majority of the time, that's not what's going to happen. You might be able to steal somebody's man, but stealing somebody's husband is a whole different ball game. And you have to think in your mind, do you actually want to steal someone's husband? Do you know how much baggage come along with husbands, sweetheart? They have mortgages and bills and several children, ex-wives, baby mamas. Yeah. A lot of baggage to bear if you yourself are single with no children and never have been married. It's up to you, boo-boo. If you have any video topic suggestions, please feel free to contact me at 678-856-3463, or you can visit me at Soncerae.com and fill out the form, okay? Have vision and stay focused. Bye. Guys, so I preach all of the time about how I'm going to stay single because I don't believe in marriage and commitment. Being in a poly relationship right now with Daddy-O is awesome. I feel great. I think it definitely has something to do with the freedom and not having the responsibility of trying to be something somebody else wants me to be. I mean, don't get it twisted. We respect each other. But there was a time where I wanted to be married. People asked me about, how could I feel how I feel about marriage because I haven't been married and I don't have to be married. You know what I mean? I've been engaged 3 times and I've been proposed to 7. I actually went to the prom 3 times, to 3 different proms. So, men have always been attracted to me. I'm a pretty decent woman, and I'm not trying to boast or anything. I'm just saying I'm a really cool friend, and a lot of men enjoy the friendship that they have with me because I'm really, really good at that. I'm just really, really genuinely kind. Because I've been engaged 3 times, and each time it was something different that made me decide not to get married. The first time, our first year together was the best. We didn't get into one argument. Not one. First year and a half of our relationship, we were like madly in love with each other, and you couldn't break us apart. What ended up happening is he began to beat me. We began to fight. At first, I think it was my fault because I grew up in a family where everybody argued and I was beat and molested, and so I think it was my fault that started us because I think I got mad at him one time and I became like extremely aggressive. I didn't hit him, but I think I opened the door for him to feel like he could hit me because his father would abuse his mom. He was actually deaf in one ear because his father beat him bad. And then one day I just got tired and I started fighting him back, so we started fighting all the time. I remember one time out front of my apartment complex, it had to be 2 o'clock in the morning. We were like standing on this hill and he pushed me down this hill and I screamed down the hill, and my mother came outside and saw. And from then on, she hated him. He had held me hostage one time. I couldn't get out of the apartment we lived in. He didn't want me to leave. So I had to climb off of the balcony and climb down to get out the house to run. And I ran to my cousin's house and I was like, listen, he done had me held hostage in the damn apartment with no phone, no nothing for 3 days. And none of you thought to come knock on the door and see was I okay. Like, what? Like, hello. So anyway, that was the first one. The second one, I was engaged to an Atlanta photographer. When I first met him, he wasn't really popular yet. He hadn't really learned the business yet. And so I took a lot of time with him to help him create his business. And so I taught him everything I knew about photography and modeling. And of course, you guys know, if you don't know, I was a model for, 6 years. And so when I met him, my career had already been flowing and I knew so much and had a lot of connects. And of course, I knew about marketing and business. So I helped him with his business. And, money changes people. People become something different once they get popular. And so I saw him become someone that I was not pleased with at all. Initially, like I said, I'm a good friend, so we started off as friends, and I started helping him the best way I could, and kind of put my career to the side and started try to be the best friend I could be and help him with his business. And as he became more popular and got more money, guess what comes with that? More cars, more luxury, more women. And so it got to a point where women were so disrespectful towards me that they'd call me and say, hey, yeah, I'm fucking your man, and what, and the dick good, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And he would go off to trips to Miami. I would beg him to take me to Miami because he had a loft in Miami, and I would beg him to take me. He'd never take me. And come to find out, he would go to Miami and just fuck models, fuck makeup artists, fuck hairstylists, you know, whoever he could when he was away. And, you know, when he proposed, the way he proposed was kind of interesting to me. I was surprised that he proposed the way he did. It was kind of off a little bit. It didn't feel right. The ring that he got me, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel fit for me. And seeing it on my finger, it just felt like this isn't my wedding ring, or this does not fit even my personality, because I'm not like a flashy woman. I'm very basic and classic. So if he wanted to get me a ring, it would have had to been just very, you know, not, I don't know. First of all, I don't like how diamonds are shaped like, I don't like or you know how a ring, and on the ring, the diamond is shaped this way. I like it to be square, not a, like, you know what I mean? Like a diamond. I want it to be like, I don't know. It's just, it was just too flashy, and I knew, I was like, this feels wrong. And then this one girl, I never forget her name. She actually has a YouTube channel. Her name is Montana DeLeon. Very beautiful girl. She does makeup tutorials, and she used to give advice. And she calls me, she texted me one day and told me that her and him had been dealing with each other, and that she knows that he deals with a whole bunch of women, and from one woman to another, that I should leave him alone. And she sent me text messages that he had sent her, and not only had the girls been calling me, but we had started physically fighting as well. So it was like, you know, his parents were also abusive. His father used to abuse his mom. We started physically fighting. One time we was at the QT, and he blocked me into the QT, so I couldn't get out. I had to call the police. And at that time in my truck I had OnStar, so all I had to do was press the button and the police came. And after I moved out of the house I was living in with him, with his parents, I went back to my mother's house, and he would come to the house, and it started scaring my mom. So she went and got a shotgun and was like, you know, we're gonna have to do something because he's getting too aggressive. And one time he hit me so hard in my mouth, I had to talk through my teeth. I was talking like this because he had did something fucked up to my jaw, and it just scared my mother. And my mother was just like, you need to file a restraining order against him. And so when he called me that same day she told me that, and I said to him, you know, I'm going to file a restraining order against you if you don't leave me alone. He basically talked a lot of shit and didn't believe I was going to do it. And so the next day, matter of fact, 2 days later, after he had been calling for a couple of days, my mother was like, you need to go file this restraining order. So I get all the way to DeKalb County's like office to where you could file a restraining order, and he had filed one on me. I mean, I remember the clerk saying, you know, he filed one against you, and here you are filing against him. And she said, well, you can get it thrown out if you go see the judge. So I went to go see the judge, and the judge was like, well, I'm not going to grant him this restraining order at all, and I think you two should just stay away from each other. I'm like, I'm hoping he'd stay away from me. And so when you look on the internet and you look and you see it says someone filed a restraining order against me, it's not that he was granted the restraining order. He filed it in order to be like cruel and callous. And this is when I started to notice that there was an ugly pattern in the men that I had been dating. So after that, I started dating like this actor that was in a lot of movies and in General Hospital and whatever. I started dating him, and he had been my friend for 5 years. So by the time we started dating, we got engaged extremely quickly. There was no reason to wait. We knew each other, and I think what ended up happening with that, so many people were in our business. You know, so many people knew about our relationship, and I had so many toxic people around me. Like, when I think about my life inside of the entertainment industry, I had so many toxic people around. I was really just looking forward to being with him. My daughter cared for him. Him and my daughter got along well. Him and my family got along well. I mean, I just really enjoyed this man. We always had conversations about God. His father was a pastor. It just flew right for me. Problem came when I found out he had been cheating with the woman that he lived with before he was with me. And when I confronted him about it, he lied. This was right before we were supposed to go and get married. I think we were supposed to be married that next week, 2 weeks ahead or something like that. Matter of fact, this is what the tattoo on my hand. Can you see it? That's his name. That's his name right there. I got that for him because every time he would get me a wedding ring, it for some reason, I don't know if it was because it was cheap or whatever the case may be, it did something horrible to my finger. And so I figured, maybe he can't afford a decent ring, so I'll do this for him. That's the origin of this tattoo. I was really like, I can't believe he's doing this. You know what I mean? Like, he knows how much I've been through, and he knows how I would prefer for him to be honest. Why is he doing this? He followed me out to my car, and I was like, please get out of my car so I can go home, because I cannot talk about this right now because you're still lying to me. And he says to me, so what? I'm fucking talking to my ex. What's the big deal? I think something came over this hand because I felt like that was so disrespectful, and I slapped the shit out of him. I mean, like, slapped the shit out of him because that was so rude. And I'd already been telling him to get out the car. So what he does is he takes his hand and smashes my head into the driver's side window of my car. And we commence to brawling, okay? Because basically I slap him again and slap him. And then I said, you know what? Get the fuck out my car. And this was like 6 years ago. And from then on, I had decided that I was never going to be in a relationship with anybody that would hit me or argue with me. If anybody got me that angry to where we would start arguing, I would not want to be with them anymore. And from then on, I decided I wasn't going to do any committed relationships unless I knew that the relationship was being sent to me by a higher power. I said, God, and this is when I really started, because I had stopped praying for men. Because I used to pray for men all the time. And when I would pray for men, God would send me like these horrible guys. So I had stopped praying for men. And so I said to God, I said, listen, keep me single. Keep me single. The next guy that you send me, I will change everything about me for him. I will love him hard. I will be at his beck and call. I will give him whatever it is he needs. I'll be my sweetest. I'll be funny. I'll do for him. All of the rules and regulations that I had before are gone. Me being such a prune sexually, I'll stop that and I'll try anything. And he brought me B. He brought me Busy B. And he became my life partner. Our first year, I opened up extremely sexually to him. Whatever kind of sex he wanted, I gave him. We started having threesomes and we were fine. We were fine. And then suddenly, it started declining. And I told God before Busy B even came around, I was like, listen, if this does not work out, listen, if the next guy you send me, this doesn't work out, after I made all of these changes of myself, I'm never being in a relationship again. I'm not committing to nobody. I'm not looking to be married. Busy B is it. The next guy is it. And so then B came and we're doing threesomes together, and he ended up breaking the bond by lying to me and cheating on me. So that's basically how I ended up just deciding, I don't want to do committed relationships or marriages. And since, I tried to stick to Busy B. We broke up after our first year, and then 3 or 4 years after, we continued to be on and off. I actually met Chris before I met Busy B. And Chris had added on to me saying to God, the next person you send me, I'm going to be more open. Chris had taught me some stuff. So I was like, well, my next relationship, I'm going to be a completely different person, especially sexually. And it did not work. And ever since, I've been single and much happier. I've been much happier not being in, relationships. It actually feels a lot better. Because I'm not worried, when Daddy-O goes off and does what he wants to do, right now he's out somewhere doing God knows what, and I'm completely fine with that. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right. And it's not necessarily a giving up thing. It's more of the desire is definitely gone. There's no nothing. You know what I mean? I just don't want it, you know? Like, my mother's never been married. My grandmother's been married 3 times. I have aunts and uncles who have been divorced. I've seen people's marriages. No, thank you. Like, I'm good. I don't even know why I was thinking so positively of marriage anyway, because I've heard so many people speak so negatively about it. So why did I even think this was something I was supposed to do? Is because society had programmed me to believe as a woman, the only way value could be added to my life is if I was somebody's wife. I threw those beliefs all the way out the window. That's in detail why I won't get married. I'm good on it. If you have any video topic suggestions in relation to sex, love, and relationships, I would appreciate it if you send it to me. Can you try very hard to not make it about race? Okay, because I want my channel to start becoming a more universal place. I've answered a lot of questions when it comes to race. I really just, for some reason, when I upload something about race, you guys watch it like crazy. But if it's something about sex, love, and relationship, it doesn't get as many hits. And I think people are intrigued to hear more about what Black women think when it comes to relationships. And I'm not sure what color people are that are asking me these questions. Like, I have white people watching, I have Black people watching, but I just want to expand my channel on a level to where it's more universal than me just simply sitting here talking about race all of the time. So when you give me your video topic suggestions, just try to think of different ways and different ideas. And I appreciate you being my executive producers, coming up with these wonderful ideas on what I should do on my channel, okay? Give me your video topic suggestion by going to Soncerae.com. So people are having a hard time understanding this whole how I'm in a poly relationship thing, especially when it's in relation to Daddy-O. And a guy asked me yesterday, was Daddy-O married? And I don't show you guys Daddy-O much. I talk about Daddy-O all the time, but I never show anybody Daddy-O, because Daddy-O that's private. You know what I mean? I show you guys a lot of my life already. My relationships are private. Like, people say I'm known to put guys on blast, but no man who has been in a serious relationship with me can say that I put him on blast. I put a dude on blast for some fuck shit, and I've only done that for a handful of guys. I've only did that for like 3 guys, and they were really on some fuck shit. And I don't mean on some regular fuck shit, I mean on some crazy fuck shit. It's almost like when a criminal does something and he's on the news. It's the same thing. So Daddy-O is poly like me. I'm poly. I'm polyamorous, okay? So people want to understand how is that. It isn't about multiple sex partners. It's not having a whole bunch of sex or anything like that. It's more of having intimate friendships with each other, with whoever you want. And it's about getting to know people, having a friendship, you know, just taking the time out to, you know, get to know people, and you're able to do that with however many people you want to do that with. People always relate everything back to sex when it comes to relationships, but relationships are not supposed to be built on sex at all. And my relationship with Daddy-O is not built on sex at all. It's like me and him could go without having sex, and it's all good. We'll be fine. You know what I mean? It's not no, because we were friends first, and you know, usually I'm friends first with guys anyway, so we do a whole bunch of other stuff together that I really, really enjoy. I've spoken about, you know, the numerous amount of things that we do. I also saw somebody comment, and I ended up deleting this comment because of the stuff that they were saying, but they did say something inside of the comment that brought to my attention. They were talking about how the reason why I don't want to be married and I don't want to be in a committed relationship is because I've given up because I've been through so much and I've given up. No. That ain't even the huge part of it. The huge part is I've never been inside of a relationship and felt comfortable. Like, I've never been in a committed relationship and actually felt comfortable with the situation. I had my first relationship at 15. I was with him on and off for 10 years, and then I was with my daughter's father for 5 or 6 years. So, you know, the relationships I've been in, I've never been in a comfortable one where it was extremely peaceful and drama-free. There was always a problem, and the only time it wasn't a problem is when me and the person I was having sex with or hanging out with or whatever with, me and that person was just friends, and that person could do what they want to do. That's the only time I've ever felt comfortable. It's not necessarily that I want to do what I want to do, but I don't want the person in my life to be around me out of obligation. I would prefer that they're there because they want to be. That's my thing about marriage and relationships. I specifically do not, I repeat, do not, okay, want someone in my life because we're married and we gotta stick together and such and such and such because we have to, because we have no choice. I don't want that. I want somebody with me because they love me and they want to be with me. And I've noticed ever since I've dropped all of these standards and requirements and rules and regulations, I actually found a guy that I was looking for. And I said this to Daddy-O. We were sitting on a couch, and I said, you know, when I was younger, when I was pressed to be in a relationship, when I wanted to be married, I was dating guys. And yes, when people find out that Daddy-O is a geek, they ask me, have I always been dating geeks? Yes, I've always been dating geeks. Like, I've always ended up in a relationship with someone who is also a geek. People don't understand, I'm a computer geek. I'm a nerd. So if we don't have an intellectual connection, I can't do it. With Daddy-O, there are so many other things about Daddy-O that I never would have stood for. I never would have stood for. Number one, I don't like to date men who are divorced or who have been married. I don't do that. I don't like that. Before, when I wanted to be married, my thing was I will never marry someone who's already been married, because to me, that bond, once you go in front of God and you make this promise, that person is your husband and wife forever. It doesn't matter whether you sign the papers or not. That's your husband or wife. That's number one. Number two, I never wanted to date anybody who had more than one kid, because all I have is one kid. So if they had more than one kid, no go. And there are so many things like that prevented me from finding the guy that I want. Now that I don't have all of the rules and regulations, and I only named 2, but there were so many other ones, here comes Daddy-O. I basically got out of my own way. It's kind of like that movie Something New. You seen Something New with Soncerae Lathan? And one of her friends, Wendy, what is her name? Wendy Raquel Robinson. She actually meets Mike Epps, and he's a chef. And she's saying you basically get out of your own way, and she ends up dating this guy. It's because those rules and regulations that people put up that they consider standards are what's stopping them from finding the type of person that they want to be with.
4 Belvedere Valentinis for 4 beautiful ladies.
Thank you. I want to make a toast. Yes. We may not have everything we want at the moment, but we do have each other. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, Kenya, this is fabulous.
Okay, let's get down to business. Where are the brothers?
Thank you. Where's the eye candy?
Ooh, you gotta keep on
Honey. Okay, Shantae. Oh my. And that is why we are the 42.4%.
The what?
42.4% of black women have never been married.
I read that article. It didn't say we'd never get married. It just said we have yet to.
Okay, so when is it going to happen in the afterlife, please?
Well, even if 42.4% of us never get married, that still means 57.6 of us will, and that's a substantially greater percentage.
Thank you, Miss Numbers Queen. It's very impressive. However, those odds are completely against us. It says the phenomenon is most acute among African American women who are educated professionals. Judge, accountant, banker, pediatrician, that'd be us.
I'm just tired of being classified as a victim. Single black professional woman destined to be unhappy and alone. I mean, I just have to keep believing I'll find the one.
True.
I don't even need all that. I just want a good brother.
That's right.
He doesn't have to make a lot of money so long as he's got a job.
Yes,
He just has to be taller than me, college educated, and not crazy. No kids, good teeth, and no kinky sex. I mean, I like to switch it up a bit, but you know, what?
You're doing it again.
The list, Kenya, the list. You know what? You should have stayed with Rashid Muhammad.
I couldn't do the Muslim chauvinist thing.
Whatever, girl. Rashid was fine, okay? I would have been a bean pie eating, mosque going, walking 5 steps behind his behind, wearing a burqa.
Listen, I've been listening to this new CD by Dr. LaWanda Phillips. Now, she says if we keep hanging on to this preconceived notion of what we think we want, that we're actually cutting ourselves off from our universal abundance. See, we hold on so tight to this image that we have of our IBM. Ideal black man. But she says that we've got to let go in order to let love flow. In fact, that's what it's called. Let go, let flow. That means you, Kenya. No more lists.
Let go, let flow.
That's right.
Yes, and it's a whole lot better than keep hope alive.
Okay, y'all.
The universe is listening. Let flow.
Perfect, my love.
To me, marriage is a waste of time. I don't like the double standards inside of a marriage. Like, I don't like the idea of a man marrying a woman and he brings all of the finances into the marriage, and then when they break up, the wife gets to take him for all of his money. He goes from living in this huge mansion with this woman and living a comfortable life before she even came, and then she comes and she might have a baby or two, and suddenly this man is living damn near in poverty because his damn income has been sliced in half because someone who didn't help him earn the money gets to walk away and take half of his money. I don't like shit like that, because there's a lot of women out here who are just using their husbands for money. They don't have their own jobs. They're not even going out there looking for their own jobs. They're just using their husband for money. I don't like women who are lazy like that. Yeah, your job is to take care of the kids. I get it. Yeah, I get it. But as a woman, you need to have your own source of income, even if it's something small. What if something happens to your husband? What if your husband dies? What if he passes away? What if something happens to him? Then what you're going to do? How are you going to take care of the kids? So you got to have your own skill and your own thing going on the side, so you don't have to solely rely on your husband or your boyfriend's finances. That's what I always try to tell women. Let you have your own shit too, because I cannot stand being able to go to another man and ask him for money to get what I want. Like, no, I'd rather go out there and get my own bread. And there's too many opportunities out here for women now that you can go and, you know, get money. Now, even if you had a work from home job, you can do that. You know what I mean? If you don't want to leave, and maybe you have some younger kids, maybe you have some toddlers that haven't been going to school, maybe you can get you a work from home job, something like that. But don't take these men money like that if y'all get divorced. A lot of women like to use that because they think that's what's going to hurt these men. And number two, I don't like the fact that wives have to be like these perfect people. They can't go around and do what the fuck they want to do. Like, they have to be under the thumb of their husband in order to be a wife. There's certain things that society has said that women have to do in order to be considered wife, and you know, if a woman doesn't do these things, or she's not that kind of woman, she can't be a wife type of thing. It's weird. And I don't just mean sexually, I just mean anything. Like, people say a woman that's opinionated or has an independent mind, she can't be a wife because she has to know how to be submissive. What the fuck does independence have to do with submission? I'm independent all day, but when daddy will come around, submission, it's not that complicated. So I don't know where people get that nonsense from, but I don't like that. And I don't like the fact that out of all of the people that I've ever met, I've only met like 2 or 3 people who actually fixed their lips to say they are happily married to someone. And all of those people are people who have been married to the people that they met when they was in high school. Yeah, 3 or 4 people I know who have been married since we graduated from high school, and they're still married to this day, and they're the only people that be like, yo, I love being married. I love my husband. I'm never gonna get divorced. And then people who got married in like their mid-20s or maybe, you know, 30s or 40s, they hate being married. Straight up. Like, they like, don't even do it. It's not what it's cracked up to be. The other day I was in Chick-fil-A. I saw 2 white girls telling 2 other white girls, like, please don't do it. Girl, don't jump. You know what I'm saying? And their husbands was black. So I don't know. I just don't like the idea of marriage. My mother's never been married. My grandmother's been married 3 times. And I have no interest in it. It's not about really giving up. It's more of, I'm just not interested. Like, it doesn't sound appealing to me. A committed relationship does not sound logical and appealing to me. All right, a poly relationship does, because it's comfortable, it's more calmer, you're having more fun, you're having a good time, no one's pressuring anybody to do anything. Does daddy want monogamy? Yeah, he wants monogamy. Yeah, he wants monogamy, but at the same time, he can't be with me and be monogamous because I am poly. So it's like, he just takes what he can get. You know what I'm saying? He's like, okay, well, cool. You know, we can rock that way too. And I'm like, all right, shit. As long as everybody comfortable. But that doesn't mean that if you want to be married, don't not try to get married because I'm telling you I'm poly. This is about me. This is what I think marriage is about, you know? You could be friends with somebody for years on top of years on top of years and have a companionship and never be married. I mean, no point to me. It's people that's been with each other so long now, they common law married. You know, so you have to just chill. Like, whatever works for you, whatever flows for you, flows for you. I know for me, what flows for me is being in a poly situation. So if I decide to tell daddy, oh, hey, I want to go kick it with such and such and such, no big deal, whatever. And like I said, it's not really about sex. It's more of just, you know, I might enjoy daddy-o's company, and then tomorrow I might enjoy somebody else's company, just them being around or us hanging out or us going on a date. It's nothing that serious. So I think marriage is not even, you know, that serious to me. 7 reasons why you shouldn't get married. Number 1, you just happy, single. Number 2, you just choose not to. Couples are starting to understand that it's unnecessary to have to be married. You just don't have to be married. It's not a requirement for survival. Number 3, a lot of people aren't ready, okay? But to be honest with you, there's never a time to be ready to be married. Like, even when you get married, there are gonna be things that you experience that you didn't know was coming, okay? It's almost like having a baby. Like, people be like, did you plan a baby? You don't really plan a baby. When it happens, you kind of just like, you know, you gotta just let it happen. It's just one of those things. Number 4, you don't believe in it. A lot of people get married in the church because that's what you're supposed to do, but a lot of them don't even go to church. They just get married in the church. Like those people that go to church on Easter and that's it. Like, most people do that. That's what you don't understand. A lot of people just simply aren't Christian. They don't go to church every Sunday. They just got married at church. Number 5, you don't believe in monogamy. That's me, okay? Monogamy to me, the ideology of marriage, Your lifestyle choices can make you very happy. You know what I mean? Very happy, or they can make you very miserable. Number 6, you're pregnant. Don't get married simply because you're pregnant. That's not a good idea. If you don't think you have a decent future with this man or this woman, y'all can still have a baby and not be married. Okay, there are still people who have been married and they got divorced and their kids grew up to be just fine. But why even go through all that? Just don't even bother getting married. Sometimes it's the other way around with people. Sometimes people get married first and then they have babies. But there's no order of operations. You're supposed to get this shit done. The only order of operations I say is friendship first, love second, sex third. That's it. That's the order of operations to me. It isn't marriage, baby, finances, or finances, marriage, baby, or marriage, finances, baby. It's just friendship, love, sex. In that order. Number 7, you feel pressured. Someone's pressuring you. They're saying, hey, I want to commit it. I want to be married. 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 I want to be in a relationship. I want to be... No. That's even more reason not to do it. Okay? My thing is, do what you want to do. Because I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what makes me happy. I don't give a fuck what society asks me to do. I'm going to do whatever. If I don't want to be married, I'm not going to do it. Soncerae here. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for the comments and the emails. I appreciate that. If you have anything valuable or anything positive that you would like to say, even if you disagree with me, please be sure to put your comment in the comment section below, or you can email me at soncerae@gmail.com. So I wanted to make a video about spiritual marriage and legal marriage. I've spoken a lot about polyamory versus monogamy, so I want to help people understand what I believe a spiritual husband or wife is versus a legal husband or wife is. Someone said to me, as they were talking about me and my relationship with priests, they said to me, well, you gave him all of the benefits of a legal marriage simply because he was your spiritual husband. I thought that was one of the most disrespectful things to say to someone. Here's the shit I don't understand about people, and you guys are just ew. You trust the courts and the judicial system when it comes to marriage and your kids, but if they lock your ass up because you black, oh, now you can't trust them. How about this? I don't trust them at all. I don't like food stamps. I don't like Medicaid. I don't like child support. I don't like legal marriage. I don't like any of it. Okay? I don't like custody battles. I don't like visitation rights. Nothing. I never wanted the courts to have anything to do with my life. I don't like traffic citations. I don't like being arrested. I don't like anything that has to do with the court system or the judicial system. Nothing. Legal, anything, don't like it. Okay? When I met Priest, I decided that there was a possibility that I would consider marrying him if it's something that he wanted. I always wanted a spiritual marriage. To me, spirituality and my relationship with God and my relationship with the universe holds much more power than anything that America can have me sign up for or the legal system could sign up for. Any of that. I could get married any place in the world, you know? I don't have to sign on a dotted line. I don't have to sell my soul to the devil in order for me to be inside of a loving, caring, committed relationship with someone. You know what I mean? I was watching Marriage Boot Camp the other day, right? And what's the lady? Judge Tower from Divorce Court. She was on there. She was telling this couple, she said, you don't want me to be the person that decides what you should do with your kids because I'm a stranger. I don't love your kids. I don't know either of you. I don't know your kids. I don't know what your kids need.
You guys devolved into a conversation about divorce and my house, and you're not gonna get my money. Let me tell you something about the horror that is me. You don't want the decision about your children's lives to be in my hands or any other judge's hands. We don't know your kids. We don't understand your kids. You're 5 minutes on my docket. We're gonna make the best decision we can, but we don't love them.
And I respected that. I said, that makes so much fucking sense. And I've never heard a judge say something so real in my life. Because at the end of the day, that is the truth. That is the truth. Anybody in the judicial system, whether it's a judge, a lawyer, a cop, whoever, paralegal, none of these people know you personally, and they have no idea what's really going on with your life. So I've always decided I never wanted to have complete strangers decide for me what was best for my family or what was best for my kids or anything like that. So legal marriage has always been something I wanted to step away from. The number one scam in the country to me has always been child support. I have made videos on top of videos talking about how child support is something that I wish men did not have to sign up for, because there's so many women out there that don't take responsibility for the choices that they made in men and decide to just put men on child support. Men they knew that didn't want to be with them. Forget my situation. With my situation, it's like, hey, he changed his mind. So now I'd rather have nothing to do with someone who would change their mind and or heart about me, because I have such a deep level of respect and I value family so much, and I value marriage and my spirituality so much, and he made me believe he was that person as well. So to me, that is not a spiritual or very loving decision he made. So it makes it even more horrible to me that we have to break up something so spiritual. It's like people believe in soulmates, right? You believe in that two people could be soulmates, they were meant to be, and all of this stuff. You believe in that. There's some people out there that they believe love will stand the test of time. There's people out there that believe prayer and faith and all of this stuff. But if I tell them, hey, I believe in a spiritual marriage, they can't seem to grasp that concept at all. But you believe in faith. You're Christian. You believe in faith in things that's unseen all day, every day. You believe in all types of ridiculous doctrines that I can't even understand why any person logically will believe in any of that. But here I am, Buddhist. Here I am, someone who meditates. Here I am, someone who believes deeply in energy and in the universe and in, you know, the things that I metaphysically believe in. These are things I believe in heavily. So if I say to someone, I have a spiritual husband, they're just like, huh? Like, that's nothing in comparison to a legal marriage. And it's funny to me that people cling on so tightly to a legal marriage, or you cling on so tightly to child support and things of that nature. But if you get a traffic citation, or if you get pulled over because you're driving while you're black, or you get treated unfairly, beat on by some police, all of a sudden you don't trust the judicial system. Do not trust them at all, with nothing. I don't see how legally being married to a man is beneficial to a man at the end of the day in regards to finances. I really don't, or anyone who happens to be the breadwinner inside of the situation. To me, I don't think a legal contract constitutes as my proof that I love someone. If I love you and I'm spiritually connected to you, you will know that. You know why? Because I will be there for you. I will love you. I will commit myself to you. I will open myself to you. I will open myself to you to where I feel comfortable enough to have a baby by you. That's marriage to me. And that's not something I walk around and do with a whole bunch of people. And I'm guessing people believe, you know, you can have a baby by this person and that person and blah, 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 you know, because people frivolously have casual sex with each other, or you know, build these fake relationships with each other like it's nothing. But I'm not the type of person that does that. I don't do that shit. For what? Like, I'm not about to sit here and give you all of these things to just any random guy. And it's funny to me, it's so funny to me that when every time someone says to me, why would you, you know, open yourself up to this man? Why wouldn't I? Does that make any sense? Like, why wouldn't I spiritually open myself up to someone and take that risk? Because see, I'd rather be the person that jump out there and take that risk of a possibility of me being hurt than me sitting there scared somewhere trying to reject everything. That's a coward to me. I literally had to step outside myself and let the fears of the other relationships I've been in, and the abusiveness I've been in, and the manipulation and the lies I've experienced from other men. I didn't want to put that on this man. I didn't want to believe that this man was a bad man. You know what I mean? I wanted to believe that he was in fact good, that he was one of the good ones. I gave him a clean slate. And people say, has this experience changed how you feel about men? All it did was confirm all of the negative things I was saying about, you know, marriage and things of that nature before. And this is why I never focused on monogamy, because one of the biggest problems that me and Priest are having right now has to do with him cheating and lying and being with other women. And I said this before he even came, that is like the biggest problem with men. So as a woman, my biggest thing is, tell me the truth, okay? Can you hook me up with the truth? You know, let me choose what I want to do after you done told me the truth. Don't steal my choice. Let me choose whether I want to deal with you after you tell me some shit. And don't be surprised if I respond in a way that you don't like. Let me respond how I want to. Don't try to tell me whatever you want to tell me just so you can manipulate me into doing what you want me to do. That's that fuck shit. So to me, there's no benefit in legal marriage. Listen to me when I tell you, I don't like no government program unless it is, I don't know, some type of entrepreneurial program to help you start a business. Because to me, America is a business. And when I'm dealing with business, I deal with business. But when I deal with family and love and my children, that is very separate. That is not something I want to handle as if it's some type of business entity. I want to handle that as if it's a family. Love, caring, you know, humanity, things of that nature. It's very separate. And when men started finding out that I was, you know, breaking up with the father of my child and I'm sitting here pregnant, they was saying shit to me along the lines of, now you two have a business relationship. Now you have to handle it professionally. What? Hell no. Hell no. I will never treat my family like it's a business. That's two different types of mindsets. You know, I have a degree in business. I've been an entrepreneur for the longest time. I've had successful businesses and I've had businesses that have failed. Okay? I will never, ever have the same mindset and the ruthlessness that I have to have as a businesswoman, I will never have that same kind of ruthlessness inside of a family-oriented situation with my husband or boyfriend or father of my child or my children. I will never handle it the same way because it's not the same. There's too many components involved inside of a family structure in order for me to handle it like it's some type of business, like I'm supposed to handle it like it's a manufacturing company or some shit like that. I'm not doing that. That's crazy. I value spirituality. I value family. I value friendship. I value love. I value my children. I value my relationships with people. And if I run into a person that does not value it the same way I do, all I can do is get rid of them. I'm not gonna bother taking them to court. And you know, people said to me I could be vindictive and go get child support. Why is that like the remedy for everything for people inside of the Black community? Why? Why is that the go-to for people of color? Why do you want to, number one, be vengeful? It's funny that people think child support, me filing for child support against a man isn't vengeful, but me pulling away from him altogether is. How? If he proves he does not want to be there and he said he doesn't want to be there, he's clearly a selfish person. Why not give him what he wants? He wants to keep his money. He wants to keep his freedom. He wants to continue to run in the streets and have fun. Why not give him that and go live the life I want to live? I just wish people would make up their mind. Either you're going to have a lot of respect for the judicial system or the courts, or you're going to have a lot of respect for God and put your trust in God and spirituality. Me, I decide to put my trust in the universe and in energy. I do not trust the legal system. I don't even trust doctors and nurses. I don't trust strangers with my body, with my life, with my money, with my children. I don't, because everyone else has their own motive. I could get a judge who is feeling some type of way about her own life or his own life that day, and they decide to put some type of sentence or verdict on my life that I don't even deserve. Or even, you know, a friend of mine's life or the father of my child's life that I don't even deserve. There's people out there rallying up right now because they think what's happening to Meek Mill is unfair, when in reality, Meek Mill knew what he was doing. Meek Mill violated probation more than enough times. He failed drug tests and he did it more than enough times. And when this judge decides to make a decision that makes sense, people are mad and feel like it's extreme. But forget the extreme shit that Meek Mill did though. You see what I'm saying? Like, to me, when I look out into the world, it just seems so backwards to me. Like, people fight for the wrong shit. So as we sit here and we talk about legal marriage versus spiritual marriage and which one is better and which one's legitimate and all this other stuff, listen. If you don't have a belief system, maybe you're atheist, maybe you don't believe in God, maybe you're Christian, maybe you're Buddhist, maybe you're Mormon, whatever it is that you decide to do for your life, that's on you. But when you meet another person who is a spiritual person, who may be Christian or maybe Mormon or Muslim, and you know that about them, respect their religion. It doesn't mean that you have to worship what they worship or do what they do or walk how they walk. It just means you respect them as an individual, as a human being, and the choices that they have decided to make with their life. Okay? I'm preaching this all the time on my channel, all of the time. I'm telling you guys, hey, you know, you want to live your life a certain way, correct? You want to do whatever it is that you want to do. You want to make choices that you feel is best for your life. But all of us grew up in completely different ways, okay? We grew up in certain house homes and experiencing certain things that other people may not have experienced. So we perceive life very differently from each other. So the only thing that we can do in the midst of this diversity is respect each other's choices and say, hey, you know what, you chose that for your life and that's okay, as long as it's not hurting my damn life. You feel what I'm saying? Is you hurting my money? Is you hurting my pockets? Okay, then you better do the thing that you feel is right for you, then you do it. And that's all I'm teaching people on my channel day in and day out, is that you guys have got to start respecting each other's choices and putting a damn filter on your mouth. Because you say whatever you want to say to people, And then when that person has a response to you, you're upset. It doesn't make any sense. I try to speak positivity in the lives of people, okay? I encourage people, I motivate people. I try to keep their mind clear and positive, regardless to what it is that they're saying to me. I try to get people to see that everything is going to be all right, okay? Whatever it is that you're going through, you're going to be all right. I would never disrespect a person's religion or a person's spiritual choice, because I myself am a spiritual person, and I would like for somebody to respect me and my choices spiritually. So if you're the type of person that you have this large faith in the judicial system, and you decide to put people on child support, and you decide to get legally married, and you put value into that shit, you better do that shit. That's for you. Knock it out. But when you come to this fucking channel, right, and you come here to see something diverse or something different, or to hear somebody else's life, okay, if you're not here to cheer me on, to say, hey, you know what, since you decided to live your life spiritually, I wouldn't do it, but that's your life, live that shit, girl. That's what you need to come here to do. This is a welcoming. That's what I want this environment to be, welcoming. And if you're not trying to be that person, then you don't need to be here. I don't do the disrespect. You know, I tell you guys to say what you want to say in the comment section, but you know what? Respect each other. And I've been asking for this for years, but you know, I had to put my foot down now. I'm absolutely at low tolerance for trolls. Don't get your ass timed out. I know how to block very well. I know how to delete very well. So if you say some disrespectful shit, your ass is out of here. Just remember that, okay? I appreciate you watching though. If you want to donate, you can. The link is in the description box below, or you can send me an email, all right? Have vision and stay focused. Namaste.
Has arrived!
Excuse me as I kiss the sky. Hey, my name is Soncerae. Welcome to my channel. I have videos about money, spirituality, relationships, of course. I even talk about my own personal heartbreak, so just check out those playlists. You'll definitely find something in there that you enjoy, okay? Now I want to talk to my ladies.
The sisterhood has arrived!
Now, if you don't know, I do not believe in the institution of marriage. Not in the sense that you do. I believe that legal marriage is a collaboration between you, a man, and the government. Spiritual marriage, to me, is a collaboration between you, the person you're in a relationship with, and God. I was in a spiritual marriage. I went through a spiritual divorce. It was very difficult, okay? One of the hardest things I had to do was rebuild my relationship with God, because I couldn't understand how God could put me in a situation where I put all of my trust into Him, and I also trusted my son's father. Now, even though I don't believe in legal marriage, I don't believe the court should be a part of anything that you do with the man that you're with. Him loving you is enough. You have to figure out, do these men love you? Marriage does not equal love. There are plenty of people who are married and they're being cheated on, they're being lied to, they're being abused. So just because a man gives you his last name, puts a ring on it, buys you a house, buys you a car, doesn't mean he knows how to love you. People do not hurt the people that they love. Now that we have established that I'm the new age or modern woman or whatever, basically all it is that my entire existence does not
revolve around the whims of men. The difference between me and typical Tanya is that typical Tanya will tap into her inner weak bitch and be desperate for validation from men. I'm not telling you to disrespect men. I'm not telling you to hate men. I'm not telling you to be bitter towards men. I am telling you that the self-love and the self-care is more important than you getting love from a man. You cannot give men any type of love until you love yourself.
Are you in the market for an organic hair growth product that will make your hair healthy and strong and very potent? Queen Lily Hair Growth Oil is all for you. This month, December 2020, Christmas special, 2 for $25. You have the original and you have the edges. It's all about healthy hair, growing long, luxurious, healthy hair. Queen Lily Hair Growth Oil. You can purchase it at IamLilyYoung.com. Click on Queen Lily Hair Growth Oil page and make your purchase. 2 for $25. You can't beat it. If you want long, luxurious hair, purchase it from my website, IamLilyYoung.com. And as I stated, I'm running a Christmas special this month. 2 for $25 for long, beautiful hair. IamLilyYoung.com. Queen Lily Hair Growth Oil.
I am telling you that the self-love and the self-care is more important than you getting love from a man. You cannot give men any type of love until you love yourself. And if you seeking validation from them, you don't love yourself. Now, I was that woman. I used to be a typical Tanya myself. I spent all of my early 20s pressed to be married. I kept trying relationships over and over and over again until I realized at a certain age that I just didn't want to be in a relationship. I didn't even want to be married. But because so many people in society were leading me to believe that the only way that I could be successful was if I had a healthy marriage, had a good career, had some decent kids, lived in a, nice house, white picket fence, dog, all that stuff, right? The American dream. But I'm from Africa. Now, I like white people or whatever, and America is my favorite place, I love America. But there's certain things that are a part of my culture that makes situations and experiences different for me. I realized that a lot of the indoctrination came from Disney, cartoons, 90-minute rom-coms, little sitcoms like The Cosby Show was teaching me a false definition of what marriage is. Now, people be like, how can you give relationship advice when you have relationships that have failed? I'd be like, But see, okay, but what I was going to say was that, okay, it's simple. Listen. Just because a relationship didn't last forever doesn't mean that it's a mistake. It means that it's a lesson. It's a bump in the road of your journey. Life is not about which one of you and your female friends are going to make it down the aisle first. I'm not sitting here trying to compete with a whole bunch of chickens. We just flapping down the aisle. We just sitting here trying to hurry up and get married, That premise was programmed into our minds to keep us subservient. There are women that are inside of relationships and marriages and they are completely bored, underappreciated, didn't want to be in it anyway, but they felt like they needed to be in it because they didn't want to take care of their kids alone. This man is giving them room and board and they ain't got no education or no job, so they can't take care of themselves anyway. Regardless to what type of situation you are in, you have to ask yourself, are you at peace? Are you at peace with where you are? Are you happy where you are? Do you feel fulfilled where you are? If that's the case, and you're in a marriage or a relationship, stay there, do your thing, let it grow. But a lot of people are unhappy inside of their marriages, especially the typical Tanya. Because the typical Tanya got married for the wrong reasons. Typical Tanya got married because of the pressures of society. Typical Tanya got married because she was looking for a man to take care of her financially. Typical Tanya was indoctrinated and is trying to appease maybe her family or her husband. Typical Tanya does not care about herself. Now, it doesn't mean that women who are not typical Tanya are selfish. There's a difference between being selfish versus you taking care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself and do that self-care, you're not going to be any good for any person anyway. You need to exit these relationships and marriages if you have exhausted all options that would have helped you repair that situation. I cannot respect anybody who stays in a situation they know is toxic, they know that it's causing them harm, because they're cowards. They're afraid. Don't be afraid. You know you miserable. It's time to leave. I'm looking for a place that's gonna block this sun. But a lot of women are afraid of choosing wrong. And it's okay to have failed relationships. Even if you have an excessive amount of failed relationships. So what? You have to try harder to be successful. You'll be all right. Choosing wrong does not mean you will never choose right. Once you realize what you need to work on, or once you learn the lesson, no matter how hard-headed you've been, you'll be good money, trust me. Look how many relationships I had to be in before I realized I don't even like relationships. I don't even like what comes with relationships. And I was sitting up here like I don't like cohabitation. When I tell men this, they be like, what? I don't like cohabitation. I like to live alone. I like my alone time. You know, I like being around people when I want to be around people. Like, I want to go out and hang out with people and go to parties and, you know, chill with my family. But I would prefer more alone time than that. And I always been like that. The best relationships I've ever had was relationships where all we did was invest in each other. We never had like this big crowd of people around us. We never had a whole bunch of people pulling on us all the time. It was just me and him, and we would do our own thing, travel and stuff like that. Those are the best relationships I've ever had. But most men don't want that type of relationship. I like drama-free situations. I don't like arguing. I don't like limitation. I don't like my freedom taken away from me. So when I decided to be poly, it had nothing to do with promiscuity. It had nothing to do with me wanting to sleep around or nothing like that. Yeah, I'm a woman with high sex appeal. Yeah, I like sex just like the next woman does. But being poly had nothing to do with sex at all. It had to do with the fact that I want to be free. I want to make my own choices, my own decisions. I only live on this planet once. I only die once. I mean, in my case, maybe twice, because y'all spread that rumor that I committed suicide. But for the most part, you only come here one time. So I want to make sure I lived my life and I experienced what I needed to, and I don't need a man in my life that's going to stop my happiness or be the person that tries to take my peace from me. And too many men try to do that. It's a lot of women that be out there and they be like, it's a lot of women that say, oh, Soncerae, you're only speaking out of hurt. No, I just realized something about myself. I do not like relationships. I don't like the responsibility that comes with it. When I say marriage is oppression, they're like, excuse me? What? I mean, are you like hurt? Who hurt you, girl? Oh no, I just don't like the responsibilities that come with the typical marriage. I can't be typical Tanya. I have so many things that I have to do, just me being by myself. Imagine me being by myself. I got more than one kid. I got a husband I have to take care of. I have all of these responsibilities as far as work goes, my businesses goes. It's just oppression to me. It doesn't mean that it's not a reward for other women. All I'm saying is, do not let the pressure that society put on you make you want to be in a relationship or be pressed to have a husband, because then you're getting married for the wrong reason. You know, women are sitting out here waiting for a man to fall in love with them because they've seen so many Disney movies and 90-minute rom-coms. But men are not programmed to be that way. Men only consider marrying a woman when it's like a little inkling that he gets. Men only settle down when they in the spirit too. And most men are not anxious to catch your brand of the Holy Ghost. Most men are running away from marriage, y'all. Meanwhile, women are running towards it. You see the problem here? It's a lot of women out there. Oh, my mom was married. My grandmother was married. All of my aunts are married. It's tradition for us to be married in our family. All of my friends are married. My grandma taught me this about marriage, and my mom taught me that about marriage. And my favorite YouTuber told me what kind of wife I should be. And if I follow these basic tips, I'll have the wedding I've always dreamed of. I'm sorry, but what these basic bish mentors didn't tell you was that men are about self-preservation. While every woman who is married or engaged is walking around acting like they got the antidote to marriage, these men trying to figure out what gym they gonna go to play basketball Saturday morning with their homies. While we sitting here planning all of these weddings, making sure the seat chart is right because our families don't get along, men are out here having fun with their lives. Meanwhile, what are you doing? Pressed to be married? Pressed to be in a relationship? Listen, let me tell you something. a woman like me, I will pick up and put down a man like he is a red bottom. And I will continue to do that until one of them men proves he's worth the effort of me even considering doing something other than microwaving him some popcorn. Oh, you want a full course meal? Okay. You better go to Typical Tanya, because I'm out here making all of the misogynists uncomfortable. Men out here sampling any snatch they can find, and you sitting here pressed to find one. They are not the reward, honey. Now, we all want love, right? These women out here getting into these situations because they want love. You're not getting married because you love him. You're getting married because you want his love. You are conditioned to be a pick-me. You desire being validated by him. Him marrying you or being in a committed relationship with you doesn't mean he loves you. Loving you means he loves you. Do you understand that? Get what I'm saying. Hear me good one time. Women always sitting here talking about they want to be some man's one and only. Do you really? Do you really want to be the only thing? The only thing this man pays attention to? What type of narcissist are you? This man can't even go hang out with his homies. You know why? Because you feel insecure the second the man walk out the door. Going through his phone, smelling his boxes. Girl, bye. If that man love you, you ain't got to worry about none of that. You know why? Because when a man genuinely is down for you, he will see a woman from across the room, wave, and keep it moving. You ain't got to worry about no side chicks. You ain't got to worry about this man talking about you behind your back. And yeah, men make mistakes sometimes. But when you see a pattern, when you see that pattern, girl, leave. Ask yourself, is marriage what you want? Or are you looking for what marriage, quote unquote, represents? Do you truly love him? Or do you want him to love you so you can get the status and acceptance from society? Which one is it? Or is it that you want the adoration and jealousy from your gal pals? I'm not telling you to not be typical Tanya because I'm sitting somewhere being bitter Brittany. You know bitter Brittany? The one that craved marriage, really wanted marriage so damn bad, and now is suddenly jaded by the reality. People break up, people get divorced, but that's not the reason why I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this because as a woman, we as women have tried so hard to be what men want us to be instead of what we want to be as women, just so we can say that we have a husband or a boyfriend. Because being single, don't want to do that, afraid of that. Don't want to be alone, afraid of that. You can't be lonely when you love who you alone with. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing more whimsical than me getting in the tub with some bubbles, a glass of wine, and a book with no man in damn sight. I love it. I'm not saying I want that all the time. Of course I want a man to hold me at night sometime. Of course I want to laugh and go out on dinner dates. But a lot of y'all want to laugh and go on dinner dates just so you can get some free food from a dude. Stop using these men for their money. That's another reason why a lot of y'all want to get married. You want his money. Instead of focusing on taking a man for everything he owns, maybe you should focus on creating a business so you can have another stream of income. Then you can really be on some boss bish status. So miss me with the, Soncerae must be hurt. She's a bitter Brittany. I'm just smart. I get it. If you want to be married, girl, be married. Be married because you love him. Be married because he loves you. But don't get married because you want his money. Don't get married because you want the status. Go out there and get your own money and your own status. That way you won't need him for that. You won't need him to give you your confidence or give you your validation. Go ahead and snatch that shit for yourself. That's all I'm saying, ladies. Have vision and stay focused. Namaste. So I was sitting on my magic beanbag in my room and I realized that I have a shit ton of content on my YouTube channel. So I decided I'm about to live stream all that shit for you. So listen, this is like a series of videos that I did about marriage. So y'all know what I've been thinking about marriage for the past 5 or 6 years. Now forgive me if some of this shit sounds a little sus. But these are my true thoughts.
So anyway, enjoy the live stream of archives. Make sure you put your thoughts inside of the comment section. Do not hesitate. Probably going to end up responding to the comments, or at least the live chat. Some of the stuff recorded in this live stream was recorded in like 2017. Few this year, but it was like years ago. So forgive me if I sound a little. I think I've been making some great points when I started talking about marriage. I mean, you know, I'm a life coach. I've been a dating coach for a very long time. And I be trying to be real with people, like, about what I really be thinking. Anyway, just let me know what you think inside of the comment section, okay? Come to the live chat. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know every time I decide to do a live stream, okay? Welcome back, this is Soncerae. I'm here again to address another entertaining topic that will provoke thoughts and create respectful dialogue amongst the men and women listening, ready to learn, ready to improve, and ready to express themselves in a healthy and amusing manner. Please be open-minded here. This space is for the opinionated and independent thinker, all right? We got betas in here, we got alphas in here, we got high-end single mothers, and we got low-energy baby mamas. We got low-hanging fruit, and we got high-value women of quality up in here. Respect each other. Hey, it's Soncerae here. Welcome to my channel. I am a certified life coach. I give sex, love, and relationship advice to men on OnlyFans. I also give advice to women. I have a Facebook group called Black Single Moms We Give You Life. If you want to go in there, it's some tips. I try to post tips all of the time. Co-parenting tips, all types of resources like grants and stuff like that for single moms. So check it out if you are a single mother, okay? Listen, as of lately, I've been trying to be a little clearer as far as my message goes about how I feel about marriage. I do not give advice about marriage often. I try to stay away from that because I don't think that people should get married. And a lot of people don't understand why I think that. So I'm going to try to explain it a little better. Hopefully this video will be a little bit more helpful for you guys. And you could, you know, easily understand why I do not support marriage, okay? Excuse me as I kiss the sky. Now, a lot of people think that marriage is the end game. I think for me, the end game is probably love and respect. Like, there are a lot of women out there who are married, but they don't necessarily get their husband's true love or respect. They disrespect the marriage all of the time. The men are doing what they want. They're abusive. They're lying. They're cheating. They're doing all types of stuff. And the whole cheating thing is a whole nother topic for me. I feel like people who devote themselves to monogamous relationships and then turn around and cheat are really just polyamorous people, okay? Then they really just need to be honest with that. And a lot of people like turn their nose up at polyamory but then turn around and cheat. I think people think that polyamory has more to do with promiscuity and cheating and lying and having multiple sex partners, but really polyamory is about you having more than one relationship
meaning you respect each other, you have a friendship, you love one another. And I think a lot of people think you can only love one person at one time. Before we proceed with caution, I do want to take some time to say thank you to Millionaire Match, who is today's sponsor. Are you single? Well, if so, this is the app for you. Only if you make about $200,000 a year. This is for people who are financially stable, who are looking for a serious relationship. This luxury high-end dating app, you can meet over 4 million attractive singles looking for a serious relationship that could even lead to marriage, right? So enticing, so exquisite. If you're like me and you love like dating tips, they also provide you with professional counselors you can talk to via live streams or Q&A sessions. Use the link in the description and download today, or you can go to directme/Soncerae and download the app from there, okay? This app is not for sugar babies or sugar daddy relations, pay pigs, cash app scams, escorting, prostitution, gift card receiving and giving, PayPal transaction, fraudulent payments, hoarding, jaywalking, running stop signs, overcooking. I think it might be some type of hierarchy in some situations, but for the most part, it's really just about loving more than one person at a time. It's a lot deeper than I could sit here and explain without you being like, that's just cheating. You know, a lot of vanilla-minded people, or people who think inside of a box, their minds are open enough to be able to think of polyamory as like a positive thing. If anything, they think being monogamous and then turn around and cheating is more acceptable than you just admitting that you are polyamorous. Now, back to this whole why I don't really support marriage thing. I think I spoke about it a long time ago when I was trying to talk to people about me being spiritually married to my son's father. Some people try to discount my spiritual marriage to my son's father because it wasn't a legal one. But I'm the type of woman, I really don't like to do legal stuff. Like, I didn't even want to file for child support when I had to. Like, that was like the worst thing in the world for me. Putting the government in my business it's never been a good idea to me, my personal business. You understand? Because to me, there's a difference between what I do in my personal life versus what I do business-wise. To me, marriage is business. It's something that changes your money, your taxes, all types of stuff. When you are involved with someone in a legal type of thing, it changes your money and your taxes. So unless we come to some type of negotiation or some type of business arrangement, I'm not going to just legally get married to a dude. You understand? Like, we got to talk about how we're going to run this household together as, you know, business people. A lot of men feel like when women bring money into a relationship or a marriage that they now lose control of the situation. A lot of men want to be in a position of control when they're dealing with women. I don't know what this obsession is with controlling women, but the only thing that you can control is really yourself and who you are as a person. You can't go around wanting to control women. There are some men out there who are complaining about how they are unable to get women to submit, and it's like, I need for you to understand two things. Number one, submission goes both ways. If a woman is submitting to you as your wife, trust me, as a husband, you have to submit as well, and you have to understand the exchange. Number one. Okay, number two, women submit to men with purpose. You cannot expect a woman to just submit to you when you are her boyfriend and that's it, and you aren't giving her any type of indication that you would like to build something with her. And when I say build something with her, I don't necessarily mean that the end game is marriage, but maybe you're building some type of commitment or long-term arrangement between the two of you. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be marriage. It can be marriage, but for me, I don't think that anybody should get married. I think you need to be able to exit stage left as soon as possible. You know, I'm the person that believes that everything comes to an end. And I don't think that anyone should hold on to the concept of forever, because everything is consistently changing all of the time. People consistently change all of the time. I understand that people want someone to ride or die with them forever. Like, you want these friends that you want to like be around your entire life, and unfortunately people leave. Like, people die, people move on, people move to other places inside of the world. It's all types of things that happens. Life changes. So I try not to hold on to people. I used to be so like upset every time somebody left, and I think that to me was kind of like an abandonment issue. I hated that life was kind of like a revolving door where you met people. I mean, I felt like this in like high school, because I would meet friends and they would move or go to another school or something like that. Like people I went to elementary school, I wasn't like talking to anymore, or people I went to middle school with, I wasn't talking to them until I got, you know, older as an adult. So people were kind of coming in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And we all have that. Even if we live in stable households, if we've never moved out of our hometown, we still have people who come and go and come and go. And to me, I understand that. So I have accepted that part about life. So I no longer like sit here and be pressed for someone to stay forever. If they choose to leave, that's their choice for them, and it's part of their journey. Then sometimes people don't choose to leave and they stay longer inside of a situation that they should have been left, and they have like this terrible situation that they refuse to leave. And it's just like, why would you want to spend your life sitting there being miserable inside of a situation that you know you need to leave? Like, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you want to spend your life that way? You live every day, but you only die once. And you are here for a short period of time. So why would you want to spend that little period of time being stuck to someone that you know you're unhappy with? Do you know how free a lot of people feel after they get divorced? Oh my God, they start doing things they never thought they would do. I mean, the best things. I mean, it's people out there like, I was depressed and divorced, and then after a year, I'm CEO of 5 corporations. I'm wealthy. I have $3 million in the bank, and I live in my luxury home. And then you see a picture of them going on all these vacations and shit. Sometimes someone that you've dealt with is kind of holding you back. So I very much welcome change, and sometimes two people can mutually agree. Now, I think that's the difficult part. A lot of times when people break up, they don't mutually agree on the breakup. And whether you are spiritually married or legally married doesn't even matter at the end of the day, because both of them have bonds. So you can't have like more respect for one than the other, because honestly, the only reason why you should be married to someone is because you feel a spiritual bond with them and some type of love with them. Okay, if you feel that and you're coming into a situation where both of you are financially stable, both of you have mental health, both of you are emotionally intelligent, you should have a healthy experience with this person for a long time. But a lot of people don't factor in the other stuff that's orbiting around an emotional connection or a spiritual connection. Okay, now spiritual connection, emotional connection are important, but you also have to understand that there is a financial bond and a business bond that you two are supposed to have together as well. Inside of any type of agreement that you make with someone, part of the negotiation should be, regardless of whether you're getting spiritually married or legally married, you need to be able to understand, can you two coexist and cohabitate together? That's why I don't like cohabitation, but that's an entirely different video, okay? Men tell me all the time, your son's father pulled a number on you. I'm like, I know, because I won't cohabitate. I don't believe in marriage. I don't fall in love. I don't remember the last time I had sex. They're like, yo, he did a number on you. I'm like, it's not that I'm still hurt. I was hurt then. It was almost 4 years ago. People still try to use him as a tool to hurt me, especially men who are trying to like harass me. You know what I mean? Like online, you know how men are. Like, you guys are predators on here. You be trying to like just hurt any woman you can find when you're feeling some type of way about yourself. I'm just here to let you guys know that is a beta male trait. We can tell that something is wrong with you, because no alpha male who's secure in himself is harassing a woman online. Come on. But anyway, a lot of men try to throw my son's father inside of my face, and I try to explain to people, the woman that I was 4 years ago is not the woman that I am today. Do not get it twisted. Like, I'm on a whole nother level. I learned a lot of lessons. I'm more educated than I was. I got a lot going on. I'm more successful than I was. I'm making more money than I was. So this is a completely different woman that you're seeing. This is not the same woman that was like 4 years ago dating some guy that she was banking on his potential and trusting the promises that he made. Now, I promised to God, that I would give my life to this man, and my relationship with my higher power is very important to me. And a lot of people won't understand that because they don't have the relationship with their higher power the way that I do. And just because you don't believe that my spiritual marriage was valuable, that's your belief. It was valuable to me and it affected me. And we're talking about my life when we start having the discussion why I don't support marriage. Okay. So when people are coming to me and they're asking me for advice, please understand that you guys are asking me for relationship advice, sex advice, love advice, but I do not encourage people to be married. And even if that's your end game, let's say marriage is your end game, okay, I'm still going to give you advice about getting to that end game. And I could tell you how you could keep longevity in your marriage, but that's not my main point of view. Even though I'm not too keen on marriage, I'm not going to encourage you not to do it. What I'm going to encourage you to do is have your own path and do whatever it is that you feel you resonate with. If you want to get married, that's cool, but I just feel like it's a completely different thing when you want to put the government in your business. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it was just about love and spirituality, then you could just go to the church or the tabernacle or whatever and be like, mosque people, I would like to be married for the rest of my lifetime. Or you can sign a contract like you in Scientology. You'd be married for 1 million, 2 million years. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Tap that notification bell. All right. And please, please, please put your thoughts inside of the comment section below. All right. If you disagree with me, that's fine. I hear you. Have vision and stay focused. Namaste.
How old are you?
I am 29.
All right. So what are we talking about?
Okay, Mr. Samuel, I just heard you say, if we just give men what they really want, then we will be able to be married and have a good life with the man. I disagree.
Me too. Me too. I cannot watch a Kevin Samuels interview live stream longer than the first 5 minutes. I get bored. First and foremost, where do he find these women? Like, where are these women that go onto his show? Like, a lot of them just seem like slow or like remedial. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't like putting down women. I really don't, because I feel like it's too many black men doing that already on YouTube, as well as like these podcasts. And that's another reason why I haven't really been participating on YouTube like I used to, where I would join like the conversation, because the overwhelming amount of dusties on here is ridiculous. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, I feel like as a woman, like the best representations of women are not being like they're not visiting this dude's platform at all. Like, I'm sorry, every time I see a Kevin Samuels clip, it's always a dustat. It's always a dustina. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against this woman. I don't know her personally. I just know how she displayed herself on Kevin Samuels' show, and I'm just like disappointed, just like every other woman that comes onto his platform. And it could just be I'm just around another social circle of women. Like, we are a completely different breed. Like, every time I see a chick on his show, it's just like, where did he find this chick? And like, these are the chicks that men are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Like, if that's the case, you guys need to like raise your standards. You feel what I'm saying? Like, first and foremost, a woman needs to have like some type of IQ higher than 5. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she needs to be using her whole brain. And she was just so enamored by Kevin Samuels too. Like, any woman who jumps up and down when they see Kevin Samuels, I don't think that they are thinking shit through. I don't think they make the best life choices ever. But I'm not going to be judgmental because I've made poor choices as well. But I'm telling you, some of these women on here, I'm surprised this is what men are dealing with. Who knew I could ever get tired of talking about relationships? Like, I'm really at that point. You know, I'm really just like, I don't know if I just outgrown it or whatever, but I think maybe because I'm more interested in like wealth and spirituality and stuff like that, I don't really talk about relationships as much as I used to. And I can feel myself just not being interested in it anymore. And it could be because I don't really date. It could be because I haven't been on a date in a really long time. Like, I am single and celibate and been that way for a long time. And I'm talking 5 years. I'm using dating apps how I used to use dating apps for like entertainment purposes only. You know what I mean? Like, I've always used dating apps just to, you know, pass time. And I think the only time I actually took it serious is when I ended up meeting my son's father. And most of the world know how that shit went down. You know what I mean? So I don't really take dating apps serious. I just be on there just passing time. But I do want to talk about giving men what they want. Giving men what they want sounds great, right? It sounds like, you know, what the average woman who loves a man wants to do. This is what women were programmed to do. This is what we were taught. We were taught that our worth comes from how other people perceive us, especially our husbands and boyfriends, right? So the average woman who's been raised by a decent woman has been taught that the best way to get value or to be worth something is to please a man, right? That's the patriarchal way of doing things. Now you got modern women who feel like their worth is not associated with how men view them. We have liberated women. You know, I'm one of those women that I do not care how men view me, because men feel like women who interact with a lot of men lose value. So that means in order for me to lose my self-worth, I have to deal with a man. So the more that I deal with a man, the more value that I lose. So that means men depreciate a woman's value. And they feel that way about them damn selves. So why would I put a man on a pedestal when I'm worth more than what he feels like he is worth? You feel me? That's my mindset. But I used to be like one of those women who was like super docile, super submissive, rubbing feet, washing hair, running bath water, cooking, cleaning, paying their bills sometimes if they needed money, picking them up from work, dropping them off, doing them favors. Whatever they needed me to do, I did it. I was one of the most obedient ass girlfriends ever, right? And got played, abused, beat, cheated on, lied to. And a lot of times when I see these podcasts where men are basically telling women to put up with a man's bullshit if you want to be married or in a relationship, it makes me just be like, I don't know why any woman will want to be in a relationship or marriage with a man when we see so many times how much women are hurt and traumatized from these relationships and these marriages. And men are flat out saying, this is what it is, this is how we are, and you're going to accept it. Not, oh, let me improve as a man, let me be a better husband, let me be a better, just friend to a woman. It's flat out, I'm an asshole, and if you want to be married, you have to put up with the fact that I'm an asshole and I have all of these bad habits. That's what I'm seeing from all of these podcasts and all of these YouTube videos where these men have decided that they want to suddenly become dating coaches for women. So they're basically like encouraging women to X out whatever women want in relationships and be whatever men want women to be in order for them to be with the man. But men will not alter who they are at all for these women. I'm just seeing so much dusty logic, and it's like a whole bunch of dusties encouraging women to be dustettes instead of encouraging women to be better and men encouraging other men to be better. That's what these podcasts and YouTube videos look like to me. And it's been looking like that to me for many, many years. I remember when I first started like making videos towards the manosphere, the black manosphere, they were making like all of these videos just angry with women, complaining about women. And I'm like, are you complaining about women because you want women to improve, or are you complaining about women to vent, or are you complaining because you have not done any type of self-awareness whatsoever and taken responsibility for your poor choices in women? Men are the first ones who will be like, well, you chose that bum. The second we start talking about how toxic our baby daddy or ex or husband is or was, we always are told to hold ourselves accountable for making poor choices in men. So as a man, right, when you have all of these complaints about women, you need to understand that you have made poor choices in women. And honestly, when I see these clips from Kevin Samuels, I'm just like, if this is what men have to choose from? Like, seriously, you mean to tell me the average woman walking the street acts like these women who call in to Kevin Samuels' show, this is who men are dealing with? Like, oh my God. Like, I've been in complete la-la land because I thought women was doing better than this. You feel me? And honestly, my thing is with women, right? My thing is with women. You can give men whatever it is that you think he wants, or even what he tells you he wants. But if the chemistry is not there to him, if he's not feeling it, he's just not fucking feeling it. He's just not feeling you. So no matter how many times you jump through hoops, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, if you ain't it, sis, you just ain't it. That's why I tell women, don't bother jumping through hoops for a dude. Be yourself. Do what you would normally do. And if he's into you, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Now, this doesn't mean have a nasty attitude. This doesn't mean, stop taking care of your physical appearance or be overweight and stuff like that. And honestly, I feel like as a woman who is overweight right now from postpartum depression, even I am getting on the treadmill every day, right? And I'm doing what I need to do, eating clean, losing weight, right? Being as though I'm that woman, I'm doing that for me because I need to be healthy. So if you're doing your crunches and doing your squats, trying to get that BBL look, you know what I mean? You have to be doing that for you, not for some man. Okay? Not for some man. Do that for you. All right? And I think what a lot of men don't understand is a lot of men just don't have a lot of self-awareness. So they'll be like, well, I can't date a woman who is a certain amount of pounds. If she lets herself go a little bit, I don't want to deal with her. And men forget, they get bald. They get premature ejaculation. They get erectile dysfunction. I put a post on my community tab like, yo, men who collect baby mamas, right? They think they don't depreciate in value. And I think the reason why they think that is because there's a lot of dusty ass women, right? A lot of dustettes out here who will be with any type of man, right? They'll be with a man who has several baby mamas. And I seen someone talk about this is what Jeannie Mai did. Jeannie Mai basically didn't want a baby with her husband who was begging her for one, and she was with him for almost a little over a decade, right? And then she turns around and she's with Jeezy for under a year, and suddenly she gets pregnant, and it's just like, honey, he has 2 baby mamas. You see what I'm saying? It's like, how do you feel like he is valuable? You know, a man would not feel like a woman who has 2 baby daddies is valuable. So to me, I applaud men for having like a specific standard when it comes to women. Like, it's men out here like, you're not going to be with me if you collect baby daddies. You know what I mean? So women need to be that same way. And I was saying most of the women in my social circle, and I guess I'm just in a completely different social circle that's above average, to us, there is nothing appealing about a man like Future. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing amazing about Future, no matter how much money he has. If he's walking around with all these baby mamas and shit and all of this drama associated with it, to where women got to go out their way, go to court and file for child support in order for him to take care of his kids type of situation, Future is not a prize. But you can't compare Future and Nick Cannon. Because, you know, Nick Cannon got a whole bunch of baby mamas that he chose to have on purpose. And they have like this drama-free situation. And everyone's like cool with one another. It's almost like a sister wives polyamory type of situation. It's like kind of healthy. You know, it's a difference. Like Nick Cannon and Future are not the same caliber of man. You understand what I'm saying? Like Nick Cannon is on a higher caliber of man. So as a woman, right, if I'm looking at Future versus Nick Cannon, and I had to choose between the two, knowing that both of them got a whole bunch of baby mamas, it would be Nick Cannon. It would be Nick Cannon every time, because Nick Cannon takes care of his kids. Nick Cannon has a pretty decent attitude. Nick Cannon's money and business ethic is out of control. You feel what I'm saying? Like he handles his business. So to me, Future has a negative attitude. His attitude is shitty. So I don't know why any woman would feel comfortable with this dude. But I did say this on my community tab, and a lot of men don't understand this. They depreciate in value when they collect vagina and baby mamas. Like, eventually, if you keep sharpening a pencil, it turns into an eraser. And men don't feel like that. They be like, oh, I beg to differ. This is why women have to make better choices. You ladies have to stop collecting dudes that have already collected a whole bunch of vagina and baby mamas. Like, seriously, like, that's just, I don't see how y'all find that attractive. As far as picking a side in the gender war, I see a lot of men come onto my comment sections, especially on TikTok. A lot of times they be like, oh, Soncerae speaks that same rhetoric that so many of the other women on YouTube say. And I'm like, y'all must not be listening, because I was a dating coach for men for 10 plus years. Okay, I gave men relationship advice, positive advice. I uplifted men. I gave men the deets on how to deal with women. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of men do not like to listen to women who give relationship advice, because they feel like, if you want to catch fish, ask advice from the fisherman. And I'm like, nah, I'm a fish, right? That's how you see me? Oh, I can definitely tell you how to get us. You know what I mean? Like, I can put you up on some real game. You got to think like a fish. You know what I'm saying? Not a fisherman, because the fisherman can fail. A fish, on the other hand, oh, we could tell you how to get us. So far, these fishermen are failing them. Like, these dating coaches out here giving men relationship advice, it's just creating more division. You know, it's just creating more of a problem. And me, I try to let everybody know, you know, it's both genders. It's not just one gender. It's both genders. Because I get on women all the time for only wanting men with money. Yeah, a man can have some money, but it's like, you got to think about his character, man. His character matter too, because an asshole can be financially literate. So I don't know. I mean, I got sick of talking about relationships, so that's what made me start my Money Crimes channel, my Premium Hustle Money Crimes channel. I was like, I'm done with talking about relationships so much. You know, I'm a life coach now. It's just like, I'm getting bored with the conversation, and now it's so many people out here claiming that they're dating coaches and stuff like that. It's just like, it's making the waters murky. You know, and people are choosing to listen to people who are more entertaining and less skilled. Like, you have to listen to people who have experience, who have been, you know, trained, like certified. I'm a certified life coach. So if I give relationship advice, or if I'm speaking about something specific as far as relationships go, it's coming from a place of experience and training. And I don't mean personal experience. So, well, I could talk about my personal experiences. I've done that before. But for the most part, when I give people relationship advice, it's coming from a professional's perspective. You know, and in order for me to be the best person to give relationship advice or life advice in general, I have to have experienced it in my personal life as well as, and also have an additional amount of training and certification. So just when you're online and you're listening to people give you advice about your life, you need to take it serious. Don't just listen to people who are just simply trying to entertain you. You know, some of these people are toxic and poisonous, so just be careful. Excuse me as I kiss the sky.
There are a number of inappropriate videos being published on YouTube about Soncerae with malicious intent. These videos violate YouTube's community guidelines. We ask that you report any content that promotes or condones violence against her because of her race, gender, age, economic status, sexual orientation, or relationship status, as well as content that incites hatred or harassment. If you see any misleading descriptions, tags, titles, or thumbnails that use her name, image, footage, or voice in order to increase views, please report the content. Things like predatory behavior, stalking, threats, harassment, intimidation, invading privacy, revealing other people's personal information, and inciting others to commit violent acts all break YouTube's community guidelines. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your subscription.
Hey, it's Soncerae here. What up, though? I almost got married last year. Like, what? I've been wondering, do men even want to get married? A lot of women think men don't want to marry. I'm the woman that was like, yo, I'm never getting married. Not because I want a whole bunch of different sex partners or anything. And not because I'm team single, because I'm like this, you know, woman that wants to sleep with a whole bunch of different men. Nah, it was more of, you know what? I see a lot of people unhappily married and I just don't want to put myself in that position. I don't even want to do a committed relationship. You know, I'd rather us just be friends and hang out. We ain't got to have sex or nothing. Like, I'm not even interested in any of that. I just want to have a good time. I spent 38 years of my life going through some negative stuff, and I want to spend the next 38 doing something positive. And I remember telling the last man I dated that. Did he listen? No, he didn't. At first he was like, okay, I want to be happy too. But he was not on his best behavior. Boop, boop, you okay over there? He had issues that he needed to work out, and instead of working those issues out before he ended up in a relationship with me, He actually brought those issues inside of the relationship with me, and that was the demise of our situation. I'm surprised I almost got married. He was married to the wrong person for 15 years, and I definitely was like, I'm not trying to be the person that's gonna waste another 15, you know, with a person that I shouldn't be with. I tell people all the time, marriage is not gonna save you. People are like, you should get married before you have kids. You should do this, do that, do this. Nah, because you can still get cheated on, married. You can still get lied to, married. You can still end up broke, married. My son's father was married. He was broke and so was she. Like, marriage is not gonna save you from anything. Listen, he was supposedly separated and he was spending his money on me. He had the poor child sitting here evicted and I didn't even know. So trust me, marriage does not save you. Men don't want to be married. Men avoid marriage. I don't think that that's true, okay? Let me tell you what I believe. I believe that men don't want to marry the wrong person. I just made a video recently. I was talking about how women want to be led, because a lot of people believe that black women don't want to be led. And so I'm like, well, it isn't that we don't want to be led. We just don't want to be led by the wrong person. Then this person ends up leading us in the wrong direction. So it's the same thing with men in regards to marriage. Men don't want to be married to the wrong woman. And every man's definition of what a good wife and mother would be is different. Listen, a woman could get the right person in her life, as well as a man could get the right person in his life, and it will improve their pedigree. No one wants to be in any type of situation where they're gonna get some blowback on them. A lot of us don't necessarily have the bandwidth to continue to be inside of these horrible relationships, these toxic situations. So we're fearing even getting involved with certain people. Some people want to be married so bad they will do it by hook or by crook. Nobody wants to be poached though. Nobody wants to be played. You trying to poach me? Are you poaching me? Who's pimping who here? Who's playing who? Everybody giving everybody a little secret, little side eye. Then you got other people not being able to mind their business. You inside of a relationship, people whispering in your partner's ear. Then your relationship is all over the place with the aid of a person with questionable history and suspect moral character. Suddenly your relationship is all up in flames because somebody decided to listen to somebody's rumor or suggestion about what they should do inside of their relationship or marriage. We got so many things orbiting around us. I'm surprised anybody's relationship could be healthy at this point. A lot of people still holding on to negative residue from their previous situation, jumping in relationship to relationship to relationship because they're so afraid to be alone. Listen, leave me by myself. I'm going through something. I'm gonna need a little healing process. No one wants to admit, oh, I'm hurt or I'm angry. Oh, you know me, I went through my whole little healing process on YouTube. People judge me. Guess what? I ain't even care. Still don't. Listen, I ain't gonna sit up here and be like everybody else living in this sanctimonious bubble. There's ramifications for everything. I'm in the process right now of solving my budget crises. I ain't got time to be sitting here putting on no mask, pretending to tell y'all something happening when it ain't, or vice versa. I'm here to give you the realness. People procure up all types of false rumors and stuff to say about what this sex is doing and what that race is doing and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, only you know what's best for you and your situation. Boop, boop, boop. Men don't want to get married, but they procreate like a mama. Hey, mama. Look at that big boy. Look at the big boy. Men want to get married, and there's plenty of men out there. Plenty of men out there who have decided to be amazing husbands, amazing stepfathers. People tell me all the time, Soncerae, you're going to find you an amazing husband who's going to take care of you in justice. I'd be like, why does everybody tell me that? They're like, you're such an amazing woman. I see a lot of men in my comment section swear up and down that single mothers are never going to get married or they're the worst person. And then I get like all of these messages from single mothers like, I met a man right after I had my son or daughter, and we have been happy ever since, and he takes care of my child like my child is his own. Sometimes women, we gotta be like, thank you for the sperm, bum, and keep it moving and find another guy who's a better man. A lot of the times people make mistakes when they're choosing a partner, and that's okay. You know, we improve with time. You only learn your lesson through experience. Life is the best teacher. Experience is the best teacher. I don't care what anybody says. All people have gone through it, men too. You have chosen a woman in your life that shouldn't be there at some point, trust me. So women aren't the only ones who make a mistake in regards to choosing a partner. Men do it all the time, because some of y'all got some crazy baby mamas, I swear to God. Like, I look at the stuff that I do and I be like, oh my God, I'm such the coolest baby mama on the planet. Have you noticed that most of the men who have cool baby mamas, they treat their kids so bad? And then men who have like the roughest, hardest baby mamas be the ones that want to take care of their kids so bad and the baby mama won't let them? Have you noticed always thought it's like a weird, like, it's ironic. It's like crazy. I've been celibate for a while now, and you know, people keep asking me, you know, it's like they wait a couple of months and ask me, am I still celibate? Like I'm gonna just randomly change my mind, and I'm really not going to do that. It's because the trauma of a whole bunch of relationships that I had, but because of what I did for a living, a lot of men assumed that I was promiscuous, and a lot of men went to great lengths to just to get me in bed, and it seems corny, like from my perspective, but I guess if I was a man, I could somehow figure out a way to justify why I would do so many things just to get a woman in bed. There's pros and cons to celibacy. Some people have a difficult time with not having sex. They don't see how they could go so long without having sex. They think they would be starved for it after a whole bunch of time has went by and they haven't had sex. But see, that's not how it works, and any celibate person can tell you that after you've gone without it, you start to, you know, just be used to it not being around, and it's not that this big thing. And that's both for men and women. And I tell women, you know, now that I'm celibate, it's easier for me to find a whole bunch of good gentlemen walking around. It's a lot of abstinent and celibate people around. Once you become celibate, you realize this. But when you're not celibate, you think, oh my God, nobody in the world is celibate. But when you become one and you start telling people that that's what you are, you start meeting people that are celibate as well, both male and female. I had a man hit me up on Facebook the other day wanting to holler at me, and I told him, you know, I'm celibate, and he said, well, can you date somebody that isn't celibate? And I said, well, no, I cannot. I can't continuously date a man over a period of time knowing that he's sleeping with somebody else, because the whole purpose of me being celibate is me being able to focus on one person, getting to know who they are as a person, getting to know whether they are a genuine person. And if a man is dating me and he's still sleeping with other women, that means he's not ready for what I'm ready for. Celibacy is not a way to control a man just to get him to do whatever it is that I want him to do. Celibacy is basically my way to figure out whether a man views me or values me the way that I value myself. And the only way I can figure that out is if time goes by and I get to see whether he genuinely has a solid positive feeling towards me. I've been with a man, and the entire time we was in a relationship for over a year. That entire time, the only reason why he was with me was because he enjoyed having sex with me, and that's it. And not once in that entire relationship did he say that out loud. He just pretended that, you know, the entire time he was with me, there were other things that he enjoyed about me. And, you know, that's traumatizing to a woman. You know, I value my body, and a lot of men don't value a woman's body. They use sex as a recreational activity. They go from one girl to one girl to one girl to one girl. They want to fuck every girl in the world. And, you know, because I value my body so much, I need for my equal to value my body as well. So celibacy is a way for me to handle that. It's a major commitment. Celibacy is a major commitment. It's a lot of celebrities out there that are single and celibate, like Terrence Howard, Megan Good. She's engaged now, and her fiance have sworn to celibacy into their wedding night. Jordan Sparks, the Jonas Brothers, Angela Simmons, Reverend Run's daughter, she's still a virgin. More healthy relationships will come out of people being celibate and actually taking the time to get to learn one another and to see if being with that person is something that they want to do. The safest sex is not having sex at all. So when it comes to sexually transmitted infections, you can keep yourself distant from that being celibate. That's a pro. Can't get pregnant by accident. That's a pro too. One thing many people don't consider about celibacy is that it allows you to be yourself. This way you don't need to worry so much about how you're going to dress, about losing weight, about building muscle, about worrying about what game you going to spit, because you're not trying to impress anyone. And because you're not out on the prowl, this means that you can relax and sink into yourself. Celibacy takes off the pressure and allows you to refocus on what's important. People say, well, I'm scared I'm going to be lonely. I'm scared I'm going to be lonely. No, because you can't be lonely when you enjoy who you alone with. You can't be lonely when you love who you alone with. When you love yourself, being by yourself is not so bad. If you are celibate, you have a lot less distraction than you normally would if you was in a relationship or if you was having sex. If you got a high sex drive, you can spend a lot of your time having sex. And when you're celibate, all that time that you spent having sex, you spend doing something else, so you become extremely productive. Then, my main reason was that I wanted to stop having bad sexual experiences. And it wasn't that the sex was bad. It was like when you have sex, you dropping your guard, you being vulnerable in more ways than one. Emotionally, physically, psychologically, allowing somebody to get close to you, to see you naked, physically and emotionally, and you opening yourself up to criticism and disappointment. If you have a one-night stand, for instance, that you perhaps weren't aware that was a one-night stand, then that can be very hurtful. You might find that someone doesn't find you attractive, and that can be a hurtful experience as well, especially after you had sex. In other cases, someone might be forceful and encourage you to do things that you aren't comfortable with, or they might turn out to not be a nice person. There are many situations in which sex can leave a bad taste in your mouth and be very psychologically upsetting, which is actually often what causes people to consider celibacy in the first place. It takes a lot of self-control and a lot of discipline to be celibate, but all you got to do is just not put yourself in a position to be intimate. It's harder once you're dating, but if you're not dating at all and you just keep them busy, celibacy is easy. But when you start dating someone, you can't really do indoor activities. X that out altogether. So as I was going through my comment section this morning on YouTube, of course, something ignorant was inside of my comment section as usual. I'm not surprised by now. It's been happening so long, and apparently stupidity has ran rapid all over YouTube, especially in the black sector. So of course, a male decides he wants to leave a comment. Now he's leaving a comment on a video that I posted called "Sis, this is why your baby daddy is avoiding you." Now this video is designed for women, so I don't have any clue why a man would be listening to this video.
It's actually a podcast. Just how I'm doing a podcast right now, it's actually a clip from a podcast, right? So it boggles my mind that a man has decided to even click on the video to begin with, because apparently this video is for a woman. But you know, men can't mind their own business. They always want to be a part of women's issues. Allow women to handle women issues. What men need to do is focus more on improving themselves as men. And that's the one thing that's missing on YouTube. His comment goes along the lines of saying, hey ladies, you know, if you're sitting here and having children with men who abandon their children, then the remedy to all of this would just to be get married first. When you have children out of wedlock, these men abandon you. Now, I don't know why that continues to be like the rhetoric or the narrative for these men, but let me explain something to you guys, and I think I've explained this before. There is such thing as divorce. There are single mothers out there who are divorced. There are single mothers out there who are divorced, and since they've been divorced, these men have abandoned their children. Marriage does not save women, okay? So stop pushing this narrative on women that if they do things in a certain order, that it will create a success rate. You keep pushing the patriarchal system as if there is 100% success rate when that is false. All right? There are plenty of divorced women in the United States of America. Okay? The divorce rate in the United States of America is so high, and for some reason, men just keep overlooking this when the topic of single mothers comes into play. Another thing that this man said, he said, well, it's your fault. These are the type of men that you choose. Here we go, blaming the single mother for a man's shortcomings. Let me explain something to you. Whether a woman has always been single, whether she is divorced, widowed, or she just taking care of her kids alone because her husband is on active duty, or maybe he's working a lot, he's traveling a lot, so he's rarely home. Men are not walking around here with a sign on their forehead that says that they're a piece of shit. Most men do not walk around telling women from the beginning that they are bad men. That just doesn't happen. That's not how men are. Men are about self-preservation. So if it's something that they want from a woman, the last thing that they're going to do, if they have bad intentions, is come to a woman and say, hey, I have bad intentions. Come fuck with me. They're not going to do that. That's not how it works. These men pretend to be nice guys. They pretend to be the good guy. And a lot of times, because they've pretended to be the good guy so well, even when a subtle red flag comes, a woman will give a man the benefit of the doubt. No woman is purposely choosing a man who would make such a poor decision as abandoning his children. This is not something logical or the average woman is going to do. Of course, you got women out here who are having babies by men who have babies by other women. You know, men like Future walking around here with 6 and 7 baby mamas. Of course, there's women out there thinking that if they get pregnant by this man that they care for, or this man who has a substantial amount of income, of course, she's going to get a decent child support check, right? It's women out there that's stupid. But the average single mother walking around is divorced. Okay, it's more single mothers divorced than anything. And when you guys go around and read these statistics and they don't tell you the difference, they just immediately start talking about single moms. They don't factor in the divorced moms. So there are more divorced moms out there taking care of children alone than there are single mothers out there taking care of children alone who were never married. Marriage does not save women. When a man wants to leave his marriage, he still leaves. When a man wants to abandon his children, he still abandons them, regardless of his relationship status. Men leave. Men get MIA. So the problem isn't the mothers, because men are going to fight for their children regardless. If men want to be fathers and they have no issue with being a father, they're going to fight for their children regardless. It's their children, not some strange, human being walking around that they aren't connected to. It's their children. So if they deeply care for their children, they'll fight for their children regardless to the relationship status that their mother has. It does not matter who this mother is, what this mother is doing. It does not matter. When men want to be fathers, they fight for their children. They go to court, get custody and visitation. They fight for their children. Of course, there are women out there, like I said, there's women out there looking for child support checks, so they get pregnant by guys on purpose. This can only happen to men who are celebrities, millionaires, or men who make substantial amounts of money. Not the working class man, or the average man that's just walking on the street, barely making a buck. The men who talk the loudest and use this negative narrative about single mothers are the broke or the working class men. Men out here who aren't high class, who aren't celebrities. You can't use the excuse, a woman tried to get pregnant because she wanted to use me for money. Boo-boo, you don't have any money. So get that out your mind. Oh, she tried to trap me. Really? She tried to trap your broke ass? Come on, stop. A lot of broke men or working class men try to use, she tried to trap me to get the child support check, even though they're broke. And then they try to use this as an excuse for why they are disconnected from their children. No. They're disconnected from their children because that's what they want to do. They don't know how to lead. They knew how to act. They knew how to pretend to be the nice guy. They knew how to dupe a woman into believing they were a good man. Oh yeah, that's easy. Pretending to be something you are not is pretty much easy, because most of us have been taught that our whole lives, to sit up here in front and lie and pretend like our lives are perfect. We get on social media and post our highlight reels and do all of this amazing stuff when we're standing in front of people. But behind closed doors, we know the truth about ourselves and the people that we interact with privately. So of course men are walking around here pretending like they're good men, getting these women pregnant and then turning around abandoning them, whether they married them or not. This is what I would like for men to understand if they're going to come to my channel, which is a hashtag single mom life channel, which is supposed to be drawing in more women, not men. I still don't understand why men have not gotten the message from me. If you are not here to empower women or have something positive to say about women or to help women improve in a healthy way, if you're a good communicator, if you're not none of those, why are you here? I do not condone comments that do not help a woman improve. Comments that are hurtful, cruel, or idiotic. That's why a lot of stuff has been deleted on my channel, because it's a lot of men with this underdeveloped thought process leaving comments on my videos and stuff that aren't necessarily a reflection of critical thinking. Think first after you listen to what I said, and then comment later. And then make sure that your comment makes sense, especially if you're a man. If your comment makes sense, you have something valuable to bring to a public forum, I will happily keep your comment up on my channel. But usually when men come to my channel, they don't have anything valuable to bring to a public forum, so their comments get deleted. It is okay for people to express their opinion, but make sure that it makes sense. Think about it first. My channel is a place for single mothers to come to see another single mother living positively, not on welfare, working, taking care of a child on her own. I'm not out partying and drinking and doing drugs or neglecting my children. I'm doing all things amazing for my children without a man being around. I have a perfectly well-oiled matriarch. My finances are great. I make decent money. I have a decent job. I work my butt off for my kids. And I'm not sitting around here worried about some man. What I'm doing is teaching other women who need the resources that I have to apply that and execute whatever plans they have in order to create a better life for them and their children. If you are not a woman or are not supportive of women, then there's no reason for you to be watching my videos. I got a lot of butthurt men and deranged women coming to my channel, thumbs and everything down every day. That's what they do. That's why I cut the user ratings off, because they were being misused. I'm not going to allow people to misuse my user ratings or my comment section to say something negative about single mothers when I am one. I spent too many years on YouTube allowing people to disrespect black women inside of my comment section, even though I was a black woman, even though I am a black woman. I've been asking people for years and years and years to calm down on the disrespect. It's time to behave in a manner that's appropriate online. We are in a public forum. If you have something negative to say about single mothers, go on single mother videos that are made by people who are saying something negative about them. Don't come onto a channel where it's all of this positive content about single mothers and then post something negative or ridiculous. I'll just delete it and move forward. There are too many people that have something positive to contribute to the public forum. It's too many women out here that need the support and positivity. They do not have the luxury to look at my channel and then turn around and see all of this negative stuff in the comment section about single mothers. I'm trying to uplift them, empower them, and help them improve their life and for them to make better choices later on, not just with men, but with their lives in general. It's plenty of single mothers out here that are doing well, and I need single mothers out there to not give up on themselves if they feel like they aren't as successful as they want to be. I've seen too many women wanting to give up on themselves simply because they don't feel like they have the level of success that they should have. I'm here to help them not give up. I went from being homeless and abandoned by my son's father to living in a $500,000 home. I went months without having furniture, and I'm just now starting to get all of the furniture inside of my house. My kids are doing well. I'm doing well. I'm in such a good place, a better place than I was about a year ago. Much better place. And it took me not giving up on myself. So when you come to my comment section, whether you're male, female, single, married, mother, or not a parent at all, make sure that you post something positive inside of my comment section. Even if you disagree with something that I'm saying, it is not your opportunity to drag single mothers in my comment section. That's not what this place is. I'm creating something positive, a comfortable place for women. I have more than one channel. I have a podcast that I'm doing. I have videos up on Instagram and Facebook talking about the same things. If you look at the history of me on social media, for years, I'm talking about over a decade, I've always posted positive content. And a lot of times when people come to my comment section, because they heard me have to defend myself plenty of times against people who were saying something negative about me because of my gender and because of my race or because of my sexuality, they're just automatically assuming that my content must be negative and this is a place for them to be negative towards me. And I feel like that's a mistake that I made as a mother, as a woman, as a black woman. So now what I'm doing is continuing to be that positive woman that I've always been, without displaying a level of negativity that I was like coerced and provoked into displaying on YouTube. I was allowing people to provoke me. Just like this man coming into the comment section saying this negative stuff. People were saying so much negative stuff, I would literally have to defend myself. And I no longer want to do that. I'm in a happy place. I defended myself on YouTube for like 2 or 3 years, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of addressing people that don't want unity, that don't want love, that don't want understanding, that don't want healthy communication. Those people are not people I'm going to continue to invest my energy in. So please, if you do not like content that's geared towards single mothers or the empowerment of women, or if you don't have anything positive to say about women or to women, feel free to unsubscribe from my channel. There will be no hard feelings. Okay? I just want a positive audience here. Pushing positive content is much more difficult than pushing the foolishness that most people push on YouTube to get views. Being positive is a lot harder. You got to put in a lot more work. You can't feed into the drama or the gossip or the rumors or anything like that. I am trying to push forward with my life, and hopefully other women can look at my life and use my life as a blueprint to improve. That's what I want. So please, if you have something positive to say, please feel free to come into my comment section and speak on it. I have no problem with you being here.
Hey, it's your girl Salsa right here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Smash that notification bell, alright? Follow me on all of my socials. If you have any video topic suggestions, you can email me at soncerae@gmail.com, okay? Have vision and stay focused. Namaste.
Excuse me as I kiss the sky. Hey, it's Soncerae. I wanted to touch on a couple of topics that keep coming into my analytics, and they are videos that were created by another content creator by the name of Kevin Samuels. I'm going to touch on 5 topics that I've seen in my analytics that my audience has watched of his within the past week, and I'm going to give you my opinion about those videos. Now, I'm only going to give you my opinion about the titles of these videos because anytime I watch the content from the African American men on YouTube, it tends to be very toxic and negative towards women. It's filled with a lot of misogyny and sexism. There's a significant difference between keeping it real with a woman, being honest with a woman, versus disrespecting her. And a lot of times when I look at a lot of content on YouTube, when it comes to African American men and them giving their opinions about their relationships with black women, a lot of times it's disrespectful. It's not necessarily honesty. It's more of just men trying to be verbally abusive towards women. So, do I believe that a 37-year-old woman who is BBW and with 2 kids can get a high-valued man? Yes, I do. But do I believe that he will wait until marriage for her? Depends on the guy.
Okay, I need some advice.
Okay.
I'm a 37-year-old woman.
All right.
2 children.
Okay.
I do not have a problem getting a man. It's just I attract weak men.
Okay. I
am celibate. I've been celibate for 2 years.
What?
I've been celibate for 2 years.
Where'd that come from?
I want to know, is that the reason why?
You 2 people that came out of you. What you talking about? I'm trying to understand what's the philosophy here. You're not a virgin. You got 2 people came out of you. What's going on?
No, you did not.
Oh, no, you did not have the nerve to bring vagina out here and close it up at 37 years old with 2 kids out here.
And I'm going to tell you the reason behind that is because when I do open my legs, the men they get crazy.
What you mean?
Do you want me to be blunt for it? You want me to be blunt?
No, I want you to keep it classy, but you trying to say they get pee-whipped?
Yes.
So the solution is so let me get this right. So you meet a man that's a high value man, a good guy. You think you're gonna be celibate for what? What? Till you married?
Yes.
You got your goddamn mind. I wish I would meet a 37-year-old with 2 kids and think you gonna shit. Separate checks. Separate checks. Check, please. No. Listen, man. I'm making light of it because it is crazy. You're almost 40 years old with 2 kids talking about celibate. You need to be trying to give that shit away to secure a man.
No.
Listen.
When I do that,
listen. No. You're talking about, what you said is you attract lower value men.
Not really.
Not the right men, crazy men, whatever. Not good guys.
Weak. Let's put it like that.
Lower value is weak.
Okay.
So when I said if you attracted a higher value man, you think you're going to make him wait until marriage? How do you think that's...
Sweetheart, I'm going to tell you like this. My cookies is worth the wait.
Well, first off, check that, sweet. I know your cookies ain't worth the wait because you ain't made nobody wait. You got 2 kids without a marriage.
I was married.
Okay, both times?
They're from the same person.
Okay, you were married. Okay, fine. Your cookies are worth the wait. So are you telling me you only had sex with one man?
I mean, no, everybody knows. No, I'm 37.
All right, so you were a virgin on your wedding night?
I was not.
All right, so let's get back to the
priorities. Can I not?
Listen, no, you're going to okay. You want answers? I'm gonna give you the answer.
Okay.
You are older. Name me the product that gains value with age and use.
Let me just say I have no personal vendetta against Kevin Samuels. I don't like hypergamy gurus the same way I don't like misogyny gurus. So my opinion about this man has nothing to do with who he is on a personal level, and it's just an opinion and it's not something to get all crazy about, okay? I do content for single mothers. I know a lot of single mothers, and one thing I can tell you is that as a single mother, when someone tries to throw your history in your face, don't let them forget that, yeah, somebody may have fooled me in the past, but don't get that confused with the person who has learned a lot of valuable lessons. Most of us go through personal growth, especially men. You know, they grow at a slower pace than women. And when we grow and we change and we learn those lessons, we tend to want something better in life. And that's okay for you to want something better for yourself, okay? Now, a lot of men who are immature, who don't have emotional intelligence, will try to hold your past against you. Those are the wrong type of men for you to be with. Not every man is like that, and not every high-valued man is looking at your history of the relationships that you used to be in. Most high-valued alpha males are out here looking for women and concerned about who they are right now. What are they preparing to do in their future, not their past? Most men who are alpha don't care about what you did in your past because they understand that they themselves have also made a lot of mistakes in their past, just like every other human being on this planet. So 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be judgmental in that way. So if you are treating him well, if you are getting your money together or have your money together, if you're actually a good parent, those things actually matter to an alpha male who is high value. Now, as far as solo parenting thing goes. There are a lot of high valued men who are actually fathers. They may have gotten divorced, they may have been in a relationship and they had kids and broke up, but they're still high valued men. You know, they still are good men. Just because you have children doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Okay, so you might have 2 baby daddies, 2 kids. Make sure you're dating a high value man who has children already or who feels comfortable with being a stepfather. However, don't go out here in these streets looking for a father to replace the father of your children. Don't do that. You know, it has to be this natural thing that comes. You can't like force something like that. You can't go around looking for something like that. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of high value, high quality alpha males have an abundance of resources because they are in leadership roles. So they feel comfortable with being mentors to children that aren't theirs. Okay, they don't mind being role models. So yes, you can find a high valued man who doesn't mind being a stepfather or, you know, mentoring or being a positive role model for children that do not belong to him. So usually that's not a hang up a decent man has. That's usually a character thing. You know, that's not about a financial thing or physical appearance thing. Part of being a high quality or high value man has a lot to do with your character, not just how much money you make. Now, as far as a woman who is BBW, if you are looking for a man who is physically fit, 9 times out of 10 you have to be physically fit yourself, or you might meet an exception to the rule who will look at your potential if you are in fact helping yourself. If you're in the beginning stages of weight loss, he will help you improve and be a better person, maybe, but that is like an exception to the rule. For the most part, men who are physically fit, they love other women who are physically fit. So if you're looking for a high valued man who is physically fit, who is financially stable, who is educated, make sure you are all those things as well. When you are leveling up, you can't just level up the type of man that you date. You have to level up who you are as a person as well. As far as making a man wait for marriage, and you're already a single mother, you might have 2 baby daddies, you might be over 30, and now you're requiring that a man waits until he marries you in order for you to have sex with him, or whatever the case may be. Whatever it is that you want to do with your life, whatever requirements and standards that you have upgraded is up to you. Okay, of course it slims down your chances of getting the kind of man you want, but that's a good thing because you only want one man. You want to slim down your options because you want something specific. It's nothing wrong with limiting your options. When Kevin Samuels speaks, it is apparent that he puts a specific standard on women that he doesn't put on himself. And there are a lot of men out there that are like that, where they'll be divorced twice or they'll be baby daddies themselves, but that's just okay, right? But if a woman does it, it becomes a problem, you know? So it's kind of like a double standard there. And that's my biggest issue. This woman is out here, she's 37, she might have 2 baby daddies, she might be overweight or whatever the case is. Would that also mean that if a man was those things, he wouldn't be classified as a high valued man anymore? That's why I don't understand why Kevin Samuels could classify himself as something, you know, that honestly he isn't. You feel me? My advice to everyone is date on your eye level. Like, whoever you want to date, make sure you are just as good as what you're looking for. You understand? A lot of women and men are looking for a come up. So they're looking for a person who is in a better position than they are. A lot of women are doing that. And personally, like I said, I am not too keen on the hypergamy guru crap. I think it's crap. I think women have opportunity now. We can go out here and be the best versions of ourselves and get amazing men to be with.
guys, it's Soncerae here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Tap the notification bell so you can be a part of the notification squad, okay? I'd like to say thank you to Red. He's donating. I appreciate everybody donating what they can, whether it's $5, $10. We're still trying to get to that $5,000 donation limit by the end of January. Yes, we have more than enough time to get $5,000. There's so many of you, you know, you guys are really supportive. The donation link is in the description box below, or you can go to Soncerae.com and click on the donation link. I would definitely appreciate that, okay? Showing me mad love. Lots of loving. Ooh, come do me, baby. I think that's Jade. So yeah, my live streams are shut down on YouTube. I always feel like YouTube is always up to some shit on my channel. I swear to God, it's like YouTube, you never quit. But you can go to my other channel, Cali Mom Vlogs. There I will be vlogging. I will be doing my live streams there. You know what I used to have? Remember that channel I used to have? It was called Real Friday Nights Live, and I used to do like a live stream at night on a Friday. Yeah, I remember that. I wonder, do I still have that channel? I might go see if I got that channel right there. Direct y'all to that right in that channel right there. But yeah, I'm trying to do my live streams a little bit more frequently, a little bit more often. I'm gonna put the link to that channel over there. Positive subscribers and stuff only. No one wants all that negativity. I really am not trying to hear that. Like, the internet be doing their job. The haters be doing their job. On Slick Point, I'm feeling absolutely wonderful today. A lot better than I've been over the past couple of weeks, and most people can see it in my face. You've been seeing I've been inching, trying to get a little bit closer to old Soncerae all over again. And I do mean old Soncerae. We're talking about pre-priest Soncerae. I'm about to bounce back. How about pre-last year Soncerae? What's really important to me is that so many people have been supportive, and I appreciate that. Emailing me at soncerae@gmail.com. That is the most awesomest thing you guys are doing. Just being around my family, being stress-free, not sitting inside of an extended stay hotel, trying to hold on to my relationship. A lot of us try to hold on to things that God wants us to let go of. Sometimes you got to go through certain things in order for you to become a better human being. And you know, one of the things that I've experienced lately, I believe it's going to help me improve a lot better. It's going to help me be a better mom, you know, better career-wise, and I'm speaking about that often. I told you guys I'm working towards my computer engineering and my software engineering thing. I have been working on that for so long. I really feel like this is the place that I'm going to bloom. This is the place where I'm going to live the best life imaginable, and I'm not gonna let anybody stop me from doing that. Do I plan on being in a relationship again? Absolutely not. I am never doing a relationship again. Like, oh my God, that shit is so not even worth my time, not even close. I was talking to my mother, and we were talking about, you know, have we ever been in a relationship where it's been beneficial in any type of way? And I feel like none of the relationships I've been in have been beneficial. You know what I mean? Like, I've been with men that have been good to me, but has it been beneficial to where it's helped me grow as a person, and me and that person could build something strong and, you know, comfortable together? Nah, I think I've been in relationships with men who are kind of selfish. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm attracted to selfish guys. I don't know. Or guys that make a shitload of mistakes. I know the last guy I was with, he was more like, hey, you know, I think I need to learn my lesson. I haven't been in a lot of relationships, so I got to experience things first to be able to be inside of a relationship, because I don't know how to be inside of a relationship. I was looking at him like, how do you not know how to love and respect a person? I don't understand that. I don't get that. I don't know what you're saying to me. But after a while, I was just like, you know what? I can't worry about that shit no more. So of course now my biggest focus is Justice. Of course, Justice, baby Justice, my baby boy, my son, my sunshine. I love you, baby. Can you hear me? His ears have just developed, so now I'm starting to sing all of the time. So, you know, he get out, he just singing. I hope when he get out, my baby sound like Johnny Gill. You know, my. Y'all know that? You sure look good tonight. If my baby come out with Johnny Gill's voice, it's on. I'm paid. I'm paid. I already know. We put out an album the first time he sings. The first time he can talk, I'm gonna put him on a record and he's just going, my. I'm gonna sing a lot of old school shit lately. I think it's because of my Panera Bread. Panera Bread. Really? See? Pregnancy brain. On my Pandora. I've been listening to the Anita Baker station. And you know, sometimes it's like, yo, I wish I was in love around that time. You know, because old school love is like so much better than this new age shit people be doing. Like that, let's fuck each other and not catch feelings type of shit. Let's lie to each other and hurt each other and be negative and argue all the motherfucking time. Who has time for that? I want that old school loving where you can look across the room and see somebody you love and y'all two just y'all together. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got technology distracting you, Facebook, dating apps and shit. You know when people used to be scared to cheat? Think about all the R&B songs from back then. Oh, me so horny. Oh, me so horny. Oh, me so horny. Sorry, that song was not an old school loving song. Me so horny. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Much better day, much better loving. That old school loving. Do you remember what your first puppy love? Do you remember what that was like? Like the first person you had like a crush on? Do you even remember the first person you had sex with? That is a good question because a lot of people, like I'll ask them, they were like, no, I don't remember. Guys, no, I don't remember. Yo, I was with the guy I first had sex with, my first love. I was with him for 10 years. We broke up for a little while. I had my daughter, then we turned around and got back together. I know people that don't even remember the first person they had sex with. I know Priest, the first person he had sex with was a prostitute. I don't know. I don't know. Like, that shit sounds crazy to me every time I think about it. You lost your virginity to a prostitute? Get the fuck out of here. That shit's absurd. Who paid for it? Guess who paid for it? I want y'all to guess who paid for it. I think it was his dad. What kind of fucked up ass dad do you have? Where your dad? Matter of fact, I guess guys think that that's like cool. Like your father was like, you know what, you're a virgin, here you go, prostitute. Do it. It's a lot of guys out there. You guys don't remember your first. You know, a lot of guys wasn't even in love with their first. I remember my first. I still love him to this day. That's my nigga. Would I be with him? No. Would I marry him? No. I will never get married. Oh my God. I can't even believe I considered it. I think I dodged a bullet. Shotgun. Shoot up on and run now. Yeah. Do the jerk, baby. Oh, all this singing is making my head hurt. Oh yeah, I definitely think trying to love somebody back in the day was a lot easier than trying to love somebody now. Half on a baby. All I need is your body next to me. Y'all know that? Na, 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 na. Your body, na, 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 na. What's your favorite old school song? Put it in the comment section below. And also tell me if you remember your first, because that's gonna be a good one inside of my comment section. You guys, you know, I gotta fill in some hoes in this house. Yeah, right up in my comment section. There's some hoes up in here. Don't try to act. That's what's wrong with y'all. Y'all trying to pretend. Don't pretend. We all grown. Bitches is trying to act. Oh, I was virgin-like until I was 35. Bitch, stop lying. Oh, my first time we had sex. I remember we was like on a couch and it was like a pull-out couch and we were like sneaking. Well, my family was so mad when they found out we was dating. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Tap the notification bell so you can be a part of the notification squad, all right? Have vision and stay focused. Namaste.
Welcome to my side of the internet. My name is Soncerae Monique. I'm a certified life coach for both men and women. I have a 50-50 audience, so I try to play fair with both genders. I'm gonna keep it real with both of y'all. Everybody can improve because everybody is a part of the problem. I want everyone to unify and produce loving unions. Hopefully you do too. There is no gender war here. I promote positive perspectives and healthy debates, so be careful what you post inside of my comment section. It is very much okay to disagree, but have emotional intelligence and release toxicity elsewhere, ladies and gents. Don't take it out on each other. Make sure you follow me on all of my socials. Go to SonceraeMonique.com to purchase any of my books or to sign up on any of my membership sites. Thank you for spending time with me. Have vision and stay focused. Namaste.